Bunnie Xo.
She was a Vegas girl.
Bunnie Xo.
Dumb Blonde Podcast. And Bunnie Xo. Kelly Roll's wife, Bunnie Xo. Miss Bunnie.
Bunnie Xo. Talk to me about Bunnie Xo.
Bunnie.
Got two of the coolest tits in Vegas.
Is this thing on? What's up, you sexy mother? Welcome to another episode of Dumb Blonde. Today, my girl Erica Mena is in the house, baby. Looking fly as ever, too.
Thank you, babe. I was like, I'm seeing the baddest. I got to come correct. And I don't do interviews.
Yeah.
I hate them because they end up being just clickbait. People kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've noticed
they have never been like my friend, I feel like.
I've noticed you do a lot of interviews with men. They're never going to give you a chance.
You know what it is? When I first started in the very beginning, to put myself out there, I was just doing like Vlad TV, like these weird little outlets in the beginning that social media wasn't that big, but I wanted people to kind of like dive into me, and it never turned out that way. So over the years, I was just like, I'm just not gonna do, and plus I'm on reality TV. So it's like, what can I really say in an interview that you guys kind of don't see edited anyway on TV? So but I don't do interviews, but this one I felt like I had to. First of all, such a big, like your whole journey, like I know what's up with you.
I appreciate
I feel like we have a lot in common too. Like
you're my buddy.
Yeah, like
we talk.
Like we could go into it, but like you definitely, like we have, that loss of a companion, kind of story that we can compare. And I just love how you're just such a ride or die. You kind of own up to who you were, what you were, and kind of like, this is who I am now. And you just kind of taking people on your journey, and now they have no choice but to respect you for it. And I feel like it's so similar to like me. I kind of was that.
You deserve your flowers, and that's what I was telling you when you first. And thank you for that. I appreciate. Thank you for seeing me for who I am now and what I've been through and where I'm at. I really appreciate that, and that means the world to me. But you also deserve your flowers because, girl, to be as relevant as you are in this world for as long as you have been, and you've literally clawed your way up, and we're going to get into your story because I'm sure a lot of people who listen to my podcast might not know your backstory and stuff like that.
Which is really why I wanted to do this more than ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, new audience, new fresh minds, like people get to tap in, and then they can kind of do their homework on everything that comes with me after. But I've kind of been through a lot,
girl,
and just out there for a long time.
You have you've been a video vixen, you've been a reality TV star, now you're dabbling in music and becoming an actress. And it's like, it's just so inspiring to see somebody who's came from where you've come from also. And pretty much we're like, you know what, I'm a force to be reckoned with, deal with it. And I love that about you. That's always been your attitude. You don't hide who you are. I love that you wear your heart on your sleeve.
Thank you.
I just feel like you're just human. And if the world doesn't love you, they secretly want to be you. Because literally, I
never thought about it like that. I think it's I just was a wild puppy for so long when I started. I had no direction. I just knew I'm going to be this. No one made, like, not knowing how to do it or who I needed to do or how I needed to be to do it. I was just like, this is what it is, and I'm going to go for it.
You grew up in front of the world. That's not easy.
Literally.
That's not easy. To grow up. It's like Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Britney Spears. They all had cameras in their faces in the most pivotal years of their lives. And so did you.
Yeah.
Like you literally were a baby coming up and every part of your life was documented. Nobody's going to know how to act in front of one. You said it, you hit the nail on the head. Nobody guides you. No. Nobody tells you, hey, maybe you shouldn't act like this, or hey.
I had no management, no nothing. It was just kind of like, this is... And even with family members, like no one knew what the hell I was doing. They just kind of
and reality
let me be.
And reality TV encourages bad behavior because that gets views.
Oh my God. And when I got into reality TV, I swore it was like wrestling. I did. I really, really did. I was like, okay, you just go in. Because I was casted to be the villain. You know, that was the conversation we had at the, when I sat down to even start my reality journey. And I was just like, okay, cool, let's do it. So in my mind, I'm like, this is like wrestling. You go in, you be the supervillain, and you go home and you get to be yourself again. And it wasn't until, I got my fair share of being aired, that and the backlash that I got, I was like, oh, maybe it's not like wrestling necessarily. And at that point, it was like, okay, people are going to believe what they want to believe. So let me just do my job. And then as, time went on, I realized, okay, they're setting me up to kind of do certain things for what they need to bring in ratings. How do I get control over this for myself so that I can kind of get control?
Absolutely. And I was also going to say to one of your points is people think reality TV is real.
It is to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's not, because no one's going to really sit down with a bitch that they don't like and discuss why they don't like them.
Right. And you guys get put in these scenarios. I'm sure there's alcohol on set. I'm sure there's people behind the scenes talking shit, putting in people's ears.
The early years of Loving Hip Hop was literally, we pull up to set and the liquor was coming to the van.
Yeah. See what I mean?
What do you want to drink? Open up the cooler and you had your poison of choice then and there. So yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely.
They definitely set you up. They gear you up. They juice you up, gear you up. And then production, the truth of how my production worked. You sit in the van, you talk to your producer, and they kind of lay out what's going to happen, what you're going to, this and da-da-da, and then go.
Yeah. And so, I mean, in a sense, they're seeing snapshots, like little Polaroid pictures of your life, but just blown up to where like you've had to hold something in for such a long time and not been able to confront a situation. So reality TV is real in a sense, but it's also severely exaggerated too.
Yeah. So in the beginning stages, that's kind of what it was. And then when it started to get real and personal was when I got married and all that stuff, like all of that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my life would be cool, calm. And then as soon as it's time to start filming, I don't know what it is. It's the luck of it, where life just becomes crazy and out of control, and the cameras are rolling, and you just got to go roll with it.
So let's cut it right there, because we're going to take it all the way back to how this even started, how you even got into reality TV. Yeah. And of course, we will get to your marriage, because we know that's why everybody's listening to this interview too, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But I really want to paint a picture for my crowd of who you are, where you came from, and all that you've been through before you even got to this reality TV fame. Yeah. So you were born in the Bronx.
Yes, I'm a Bronx girl.
But you have a crazy story, because every time I watch a new interview with you, I learn something new about you. Yeah. You almost don't tell everything all at once. You kind of like give bits and pieces. Yeah. And you remind me so much of myself, because you'll be like, yeah, so I sawed my arm off, but this happened and it was great.
Yeah,
And it's like, you're like, wait a second, she just said something super traumatic and then just brushes over it like it's nothing.
Yeah, because I'm so used to people not really getting anyway.
I know, but that's not okay. Yeah. And it's not, you are a rarity, because we need more emotion in this world. We need more like women who are like, hey man, this hurts. There's a clip that we're going to play later of you talking to your ex-husband, and it broke me, because any woman that's ever been in some sort of relationship had to have felt that moment. Yeah. And we'll get
I know that clip has been viral for it's still viral.
Oh,
I get people from like Australia and like all these places that are like sending me DMs and pouring their hearts out, and it's still to this day.
It's an authentic moment. Yeah. It's a real moment, and you weren't afraid to show that. And I really have to give you your flowers on that, because so many people try to just be hard for the cameras or try to act like they don't have emotion, and you're just like, no, you know what? This hurts. I'm going through some shit
in my life when it comes to the reality stuff was so real, and that's why it irks me when the other individual tries to act like it wasn't. Yeah. For, safe face purposes, but it is what it is.
So going back to the Bronx, you growing up in the Bronx, your mom, can you take us on that journey with your mom? Because your mom was pregnant with you in prison. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, you did your research.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, obviously I wasn't born yet, so I didn't get to experience much besides like the foster care stuff and not being able to be with my mom all the time. Well, like I'm supposed to, any kid's supposed to in the very beginning, early stages of their life. But yeah, it was an unfortunate situation. My mom, wrong place, wrong time, got caught up. And my sisters, my older sisters, I should say, kind of felt it more than anybody. But yeah, it was definitely a trying time for my family, but my mom pushed through. I was in the foster care system for some time. And my mom, did what she had to do when she came out to kind of get me back. And it wasn't until like I was like 5, 6 that some normalcy kind of started to transpire for me. So the early stages of my life were definitely away from mom and family.
And that creates a lot of resentment and anger in your heart whenever as a child, because my mom left me on a doorstep when I was a baby. And that really breeds kind of resentment, sometimes towards women or sometimes just towards everybody,
I feel like for me, it wasn't so much like resentment. It was just more of like, I just felt like it was just unfair, the things that I had to deal with as a baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't blame her for it because it is what it is. But, the people who were taking care of me, and that's why too, it's like, when it comes to foster care children, I have such a soft spot for them because you'd be surprised, how the system just really just handles children, consistently. And the people that they choose or they allow to be foster care parents, because that's really, I know for me, in my experience, that was kind of, I think the part that really kind of messed me up in the childhood kind of phase of it, being molested so young, not having control over what I was feeling, not understanding if what I was feeling was right and was wrong. And that's why to this day, for me to be sexual with anybody or anything, even though I'm such a sexual being when I'm tapped in, it has to be a connection.
Yeah.
Even though absolutely. I'm super like, people look at me and be like, I'm super sad. And I am, it's part of like the Scorpio in me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm so kind of selective because of that. Kind of experience.
You have to be, especially in this day and age. But I also think, didn't I see an interview where you talked about like while you were in foster care, you were also like sexually abused?
Yeah.
Like that's hurtful too. And that can that can also make people super sexual or withdraw sexually.
So I was sexually assaulted when I was a child for the time that I was in this particular foster situation. And
was it
feel like that kind of made me too like the tough, not so much in the like the sexual stuff, granted, like when it comes to being sexual with anybody, I have to have a connection with you. Like it's not just, you know what I mean? And it takes a lot to get me there.
Yeah.
But it also made me like the tough girl that I am, where I'm just kind of, I keep my, my tolerance and my, I don't know, it's kind of.
You had to protect yourself at a young age. It was like,
yes, that's what it is. So the way I am now, I'm like, so like, I'll be damned. And people call it crazy and they call it whatever. I call it, I just dare you to with me just because what I couldn't do as a child for myself, I'm going to do now.
That just gave me goosebumps.
So
you grew up to be the woman that would have protected the little girl that you were.
I feel like I owe that little girl the protection that I consistently on a day-to-day basis try to give myself, that protection.
Yeah. And that's really, going through something like that at a young age, because I also did too. And I'm only saying that to relate to you. I understand the anger.
I'm obsessed with the song your husband wrote on your behalf.
Oh,
every time I listen to it, I cry.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
one of those.
Yes.
It's really that. It's like, you're innocent. You don't have no idea. And when it happens, it's like no, as a child, you don't know how to explain, or your innocence is really taken from you.
Absolutely. And not by choice.
Feelings and the thoughts and this and that is like, you know, it's tough. It's not easy.
Well, that creates anger too. Like not being able to speak up and not being able to like say, no, I don't want you to do this to me. That also creates anger. I grew up such an angry child. I got kicked out of so many schools.
Oh my God, me too.
For fighting, for just, I mean, I'm telling you, and and it stems from all of that's happened in your childhood. They say that you can feel your mother's emotions while she's pregnant with you.
Oh my God, yeah. My son, Sapphire, who's 4, vibrant child, like, and is very, is it but she knows how to like articulate all her feelings and such a like, you know, vibe. But when I was pregnant with her, me and my ex-husband were in like real diehard honeymoon phase. Legend. Oh my God. He is, any little thing goes off. It's literally night and day. And it's crazy because when I was pregnant with him was when I was tormented the most by my ex-husband. Like from the cheating to the embarrassment to, you know, left to fend for themselves after our house got robbed while he's in a hotel. We're just in the same house that got robbed, and I was there on ice tension. It was just, and I literally can see the difference in my children from them too, just off of the, you know, what my pregnancy stage was and my phases of it.
It's crazy.
And he's a beautiful, happy child. Don't get me wrong. But when he is, you know, not getting his way, the tantrums, the breakdowns he has, I definitely see it. I'm like, oh yeah, everything I felt when I was pregnant, he now walks with. And that so it's funny because every time he has those moments, I try to like squeeze him and hug him. And just because I'm just like, I know what I went through when I was pregnant, and I just don't feel like it's his fault.
Yeah.
Why he is the way he is.
And what happened to you also wasn't your fault either.
Yeah.
You know?
I just wish I would have known better as far as like what I allowed to happen, because had I known it would affect my child now, I probably would have made a lot more better decisions.
Well, unfortunately, we don't know to make better decisions until we go through situations that make us grow.
Because I'm like, had I known it really would have affected my child the way it does now, oh my God, it probably would have been a lot easier to just walk away and never look back than it was then, you know? Because your children are different. They give you a different type of motive and like,
hustle
and reason and I'll be damned kind of, you know,
and
way to be.
You're already such a fierce human, so I could only imagine how you are with your babies now.
Oh my
too.
God, I'm like, I'm orange jumpsuit. I dare you to with my kids, like, don't play with me.
So circling back to your childhood, moving on from that horrible situation, I heard you say that your mom fought for you, which is awesome, because a lot of women don't do that once their babies get lost into the system. And you also have how many brothers and sisters?
So I have 2 sisters. One of them on my dad's side, I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
Right.
One of my sisters from my dad's side, my best friend. I'm so happy we found each other. We didn't grow up together because my dad was, you know, playboy at his finest. But later on in life, she found me, and it's like my best friend. Like literally, I wish I had her all my life. But anyway, we're making up for it now. I have another sister that I was adopted, and we don't know much about like her whereabouts. But I have my 2 brothers on my dad's side. And then on my mom's side, I have 3 sisters. So I have a cute number of brothers and sisters.
And they're like half and full-blooded.
Yeah, because all my sisters, me and my sisters only share mama. We all have different daddies.
Gotcha. That's how my family is.
Yeah.
Too.
So
I feel like parents back in the day were such players.
Oh yeah. They lived in that time of just
free love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just do it. Like we
literally
think we do what we wanted.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like we're the generational curse breakers, and we're breaking all the our parents did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So moving on from that, let's talk about your father's Dominican, and I heard your mother was raised by nuns.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that too?
Yeah. So, unfortunately, she got caught up in the system as well, taken away from my grandfather, and put into the system, and ended up in like I wouldn't even say all girl school. It was like a girl and boys school, but it was school, you know, for children, that nuns kind of raised them, and it wasn't the best experience. You would think, oh, Nuns, holy place, but it actually was
especially everything that's coming out about like
terrible.
Yeah.
My mom used to tell and the stories my mom tells me. I won't even get personal on that, just because we recently just had like a heart to heart on all the things she went through, and it's so sad how, yeah, like I said, like I just have a soft space because they have these facilities for children, and children just aren't being treated properly.
Yeah.
So my mom had a really tough upbringing, which is, why I understand, her even more so now. Because as a teen, me and my mom used to clash so bad.
Yeah. We're going through that right now, but thankfully it's not too rough. But I feel like everybody goes through that with their mom. It's like they don't understand you. You don't understand them.
Yeah. So, but now, as time goes on, like my mom opening up to me more makes me appreciate her more, understanding what she's been through. And then it makes me look at the things that I've gone through and like, oh, it's actually not as bad as my mom. So I have to, and I also feel like where I got my strength and resilience from definitely comes from her after hearing what she's kind of had to go through. I definitely know like why I'm such a, unbreakable person is because of my mom. But yeah, she did fight for us. It wasn't easy. I'm sure it's funny because they'll take kids from parents, won't take kids from parents that deserve to be taken care of.
Right.
And then the parents that do ride for their kids, they put them through hell. So
yeah.
that was kind of my mom's scenario. But once she got us, we kind of, life started to kick in. My stepfather took over, and gave us such a beautiful life.
Let's talk about that though, because your mom was in a halfway house.
Yes.
And fell in
and
love.
then fell in love with my dad.
Yeah.
And he gave us such, like I said, such a beautiful life. He was such a great person. He had, his life as well and his backstory, but ultimately he kind of, fell in love with my mom, and you couldn't tell him that we weren't his children. And that's how life, kind of picked up for us. And, he bought us our first home. And, it was once things, we got over those unfortunate circumstances and my mom did the work, meeting him, that
the universe.
That union just literally set the tone for my childhood to kind of settle in and be all right. And I still dealt with a lot of things though secretly from what happened to me.
So I think I heard in another interview that you said you never spoke about it, right?
No, because when I did, I remember there was a time I did. I was told it didn't happen. So
that is so hurtful though.
Yeah.
That's really
And it's
hurtful.
funny because the sister that told me it didn't happen is the sister I don't talk to now. Yeah. And that was the sister that I thought was like my nurturer, because she kind of did raise me when my mom wasn't home.
Right.
My mom worked a lot to provide us everything.
Yeah.
That was the sister that kind of held it down for us. But,
right.
Tables always turn and you eventually see who people are. And that's kind of where I'm at with that.
She might have gone through her own. So
she had a kid at a young age. So I'm sure she had her, own stuff going on. But yeah, I was told it didn't happen. And, I kind of looked up and respected this particular person who was my sister. So, you respect someone and they tell you one thing, you kind of roll with it. And that's kind of how I took it. And I didn't speak about it for a long time.
That causes anger too in a child when you feel like your voice isn't being heard. So you stuff that down. It's called unresolved anger.
Yeah.
And it's like to have to be that young and deal with being told that it wasn't true is extremely hurtful. And that comes out in other ways also.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm so adamant on like being the tough cookie that I am.
Yeah.
From then to now. I've definitely kind of calmed it down because I'm just kind of like, you got this. Don't worry. People know now. They got the M. They get the message now.
Well,
so I got a chance to will it back in, But that's kind of why it's just kind of been that girl to take no shit. I got the label of being bat crazy because I don't take no shit, and I kind of just I accept it. It just kind of is what it is. And then people thinking I'm crazy, believe it or not, helps me because it's kind of like, you know, they how you say that? They know not to f with me, so that's kind of like selective. Like unless they really, really, you know, like.
Well, I'm your girl, so I'm gonna give it to
Tell
you
me.
real.
Tell me.
You had to step into your masculine energy.
Oh, I've been in my masculine energy even when I was married. I
Exactly.
feel like it's
Well, he's in his
I've
feminine energy, but we'll get into that. Okay?
I feel like I've never not had to be in my masculine energy.
Right. And I talk about that a lot on this podcast because I too, and I'm only saying this because I relate to you so much, have been in my masculine energy my entire life. And the only person I'm in my feminine energy with is my husband. Nice. And I promise you that when it happens for me, you're going to be the softest. Right? You're going to be the softest version of yourself, and you're going to look back.
I had that taste for like a second, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, but when it really happens, and it's
like
really,
when it's for like ever,
when
I'm
it's
sure
your
it's like
time,
a breath of fresh air, right?
Yeah, you're going to look back, and you're going to be like, I never want to be in my masculine energy again. I want to be.
Oh yeah, no, to have to be in your soft era and then have to jump back in. That's what's not talked about a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's extremely traumatizing.
Oh my God.
To have to go back.
And it's hard to let it go. Because you're like, I loved it there.
Yeah, like, why did you take this from me?
Like, why?
Yeah.
You could have just left me the alone. Like, you gave me a taste of what I deserve, and then to pull it underneath me to have to be masculine times 20 or 100 than you've ever been before. Yeah.
No, I feel you, baby. And we're gonna get into that. I promise. We're just building this story. So
yeah,
okay.
we have to build it.
So going back to your stepdad, he pretty much came in, made life so great. And then when do you start like, you know, thinking like, okay, you know what? I want to be a star.
I feel like I always kind of like loved music, and I used to watch West Side Story over and over and over again. Once my mom put me onto it, it was one of my favorite go-to movies, and I would sit and watch it and sing and dance. And I was obsessed with Rita Moreno, and I don't know. I just felt like I always loved that whole
vibe.
Yeah, like it was just always me to
Glitz
sing and
glamour.
dance, and I was always in the mirror, and like, you know, it was just something that I just it was just within me. It wasn't even like something I was introduced to. And I would watch musicals all day long. I just was obsessed with them. And once I started, you know, in my early preteens, music videos started to become a thing. Like for real.
Back in the day, video vixens were like the it thing to be.
Yeah, like Janet Jackson, That's the Way Love Goes was one of my favorite go-to videos to watch because she had like a variety of all these beautiful women. And Jennifer Lopez was one of them, not even known at that time, but you know, one of the, like, you just see like all these women vibing out and dancing and just being, I don't know, it was just like a era, but that whole like music video phase kind of drew me in even more. And then, you know, growing up in New York, the castings of music videos and things like that were like at an all-time high. I actually have a cousin named Maritza. She used to be married to David Alengria. So we had our fair share sometimes too of going to see Living Color or him perform certain things, you know, and she was managing him at one point. And I remember like reaching out to her one time, I think like 15, 14. And I was like, how do I want to be that. I didn't know what it was. I just want to do that. and having a conversation with her, she was just like, if you're really serious, you know, go check out Backstage. And that was a newspaper at the time that you would get at the corner at the, you know, like the little newspaper stands, music magazine stands that sold candy and all that stuff. So I would like get off the bus or get off the train and get my, you know, Backstage. And I eventually just like one day was like, you know what, I'm gonna start going on castings and auditions. And it just kind of took it from there. And I would go skip school, go on these castings. Before you knew it, I got, you know, casted for a music video. And then it just kind of.
Which one was the first one?
The first one ever was All Stars. It was a music video with this group called, I want to say it was All Stars.
Can we find that, Mimi?
And the crazy thing about it.
Is it online?
It's featuring, it had Nicki Minaj.
Wow.
Early Prime.
Wow. Type in All Stars Nicki Minaj and see if that comes up. Well, isn't that crazy how life is so full circle?
It's so full circle
Yeah.
because the individual I married later on in life was in it too. They had like a group. Yeah, that was my first music video ever.
That's the red
And
string
if you are able to
theory.
pull it up, it's so grainy and so like, because this was so long ago.
Yeah. But how crazy is that? That's like the red string theory that he was in that video with her and you were in it also.
Life literally comes full circle.
That is nuts.
Weird.
Yeah. So
Ugh.
weird. Let's see if we can find it. All Stars.
When we wrap this up, I feel like I can find it. Put Nicki Minaj All Stars video. Well, I was a vixen in the video.
Right.
I was like a random, video girl. That was my first video. Then came Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Young Guns, which was Rockefeller. And from
That's
there,
all the New York. That's when Rockefeller was like huge.
Oh my
too.
God, yes. Young Guns, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And I remember because it was it actually became one of those videos that were on all the countdowns. So I would be at school and people would be coming from, to school. Like, I seen you in the video, 106 at Park and da-da-da. And it was just like, it was a cool feeling. And then, yeah, it just kind of took on a life of its own. I got a taste of what it was like to see myself on TV. I got a taste of, to see how things moved, behind the scenes and what they were looking for, how you needed to look, how you needed to move, who you needed to be. And as young as I was picking up everything. No guidance, no, manager, no nothing. I would like speak on behalf of myself. And just kind of just maneuvered. And before you knew it, I was like the lead girl in music videos. And then I started doing, publications from like XXL Eye Candy to
this was all huge in the 90s. This is like the 90s, right? 90s and 2000s.
20s, yeah. 90s, yeah.
Late 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
We're showing our age here, Erica.
I know. I was like, wait, is it 90s? Yikes.
Like late 90s.
I was a baby. I was literally a baby. One of the videos.
I was 17 in 97.
I don't even think. I was born in 87. So yeah. I remember one of the videos I did. I was like 15.
Wow. That's crazy. That would never fly nowadays.
Well, back then they didn't do all the paperwork and stuff like that. And they paid you cash,
Well, it's because weird was kind of happening behind the scenes sometimes.
Yeah,
at
and
some
then
of these things.
It was in the early stages of just the whole, how things would get done. Like there was no real process,
right.
They would cast you and then, that's about it. You kind of get your $200-$300 and get sent home and you'll be there all day. Like I went through it all. Yeah. But I'm really blessed though in that even though I was so young, I wasn't dumb. And I will say this, my childhood traumatic experience saved me a lot from getting caught up in, a lot of women do get lured in these environments to have to do X, Y, and Z to be in these positions where you can be on, in these videos and stuff like that. And I feel like my traumatic experience definitely saved me from like knowing better and just like I would never, because what I went through, I know what it felt like to be touched and, not wanting. Yeah. And I would never, like I would have refused to like feel that way again with it being in my control, I would say. So yeah, it like, unfortunate situation, but it definitely prepared me and had me prepared to kind of maneuver in those spaces being as young as I was.
That was an example of you taking your power back.
Yeah. Yeah. I also knew like what I wanted to do. So I was just like, you're going to respect me and it's not for that.
Right. Absolutely. When I got into sex work, that was my way of taking my power back. It was indirectly like, you can't touch me unless you pay me, so it was like it was a weird healing, situation, but a lot of us victims, I don't like using that word. A lot of us survivors, we take our power back in different ways. And it could be something just like what you did, just saying like, you know what, I'm not going to, we're not shaming the other girls who have done it, but we're not going to be. Yeah. No, totally.
It's one of those things, like everyone has their own way of like dealing with what has happened to them, and then how to progress with it.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Can we bring up a couple of these videos so we can see young Erica?
It's so funny.
I think we got a few.
Do you got young? Oh God, that's. Oh, I can't wait to dive into that. Oh, I can't wait to dive into that.
Oh yeah, we're ready, baby. We're ready.
Go. This video.
You were in Candy Shop? I didn't know that.
Yes.
I love that. I used to dance to this song on stage.
18-year-old Mena.
But you still look the same.
You think so?
Yeah.
This one, because for me, there was so many beautiful women on set. And the fact that I was picked to kind of have that like one-on-one moment. When you're in the video world and you start from like, okay, kind of being a little bit of an extra to like main girl, you know, status. It's like an accomplishment when you get to kind of deal with the artist one-on-one. That's why the Chris Brown video, it was like, oh my God, now next movies. Like I made it.
How was it meeting Chris Brown? I feel like
it was his early like years of, you know, child. So, and I remember because I used to smoke Black and Milds back then.
Oh God. I think everybody went through a Black and Milds phase.
And I remember him seeing me off camera smoke one and he would not let it go. He was just this is like baby Chris Brown.
Yeah.
So he was like, ew, you smoke cigarettes, you smoke, blah, 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 and he would not let it go. That he even made a comment about it on like making the video, and swear to this day, people swear like I had like some type of bad breath, but it was him talking about me like smoking, and you could smell the smoke. It, like, you know. So, and it's funny because I see every time I see him, I'm like, you have to clear the air on that you were literally getting like making fun of me for being a Black and Mild smoker. Because he was fresh. He was like, you know, baby, wasn't smoking, wasn't doing anything. And but that video was my favorite. I remember my best friend at the time, me and her were up for the part. Yeah. And it was, you know, I felt bad, but I was like, I want it. So I made sure to outdo her and I got the part.
Yeah. I mean, this is your career we're talking about.
I had that Michael Jackson video. What's that video where he walks down the street?
The Way You Make Me Feel? Is
yes,
it that one?
The Way You Make Me Feel. Yeah. Okay, so I had that video in mind, and I remember that woman just being so like poised and badass. So when I did the audition, and it was Eric White who was who directed this video, I made sure that whole video was just playing in my head over and over. So in audition, like with my friend there, I made sure to outdo her. Yeah. We're not friends anymore, so I can talk the truth about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not even saying anything bad. I made sure to
outdo you, sweetie. But yeah.
But to be 16, 17, doing these types of videos, that's insane. Like, that's a lore. Like, this is history right here.
Yeah, it's. I have a lot to tell my mom. I mean, my daughter.
Yeah, literally.
Sapphire, mommy has a book to tell you.
But unless you've lived through this era, you don't understand it, and it's hard for people to respect it. But this is really
because videos aren't like the go-to thing anymore.
No, and this was such a cool era. I wish we could go back to this because this was
that's the girl actually. She ended up being casted for The Friend.
Aww.
Her name's Narisha.
I love it. But I mean, this is such a cool lore. And this just goes, I just want to show everybody how independent you were before even this marriage that has made so many headlines. And, you know, because I see people say things and I'm just like, do they realize who Erica was before she got with this man?
And I think because I've been around for so long. And then came this era, and then came Love and Hip Hop. And then when I did Love and Hip Hop, I was on there for like 15 years, easy. I went through the different phases, like, and I went through the whole era of like, okay, not understanding how reality TV works to, okay, now I need to get the audience to tap into me, even though producers were still set on me being narrated this way that brought in ratings. It took a while for people to kind of like, okay, see me as a person. And I still feel like they don't see me as a person because they're so used to me being the villain. Right. You know, for a long time, I was okay with going in, tearing, saying whatever, telling, you know, doing whatever they wanted me to do until finally I was like, this is not who I want to be forever. I want to do movies and I would go out for auditions for movies, but because people have this set, you know, narrative on me, casting people. It was hard for people to cast me. So then I was like, okay, I have to do something. That over time, and even though it was like I'm 1 week hated, 1 week loved, and it goes back and forth and it fluctuates. One thing's for certain is people watch for me.
Absolutely.
You know, because I bring it, whether it's put together story by production or it's my real life.
What did you say to me earlier? Talk your
So it's like, I've been able to kind of like people, whether they hate me or love me or whatever, they gravitate, they watch.
They
so
know who
over
you
time,
are.
I'm just like, you know what? Like I want people to kind of know who I am. I'll still give you guys what you need, but I want people to start knowing. That's why too, you'll see the shift if you see the years of Love and Hip Hop, how it's blah, 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 about it, you know, going off on whoever, and I will say whatever and read a filth. No,
which I love that, Erica. Pop the queen for sure.
I would have like no remorse, and then after a while, I'm just like, okay, I'm done being that girl. Like, and
That's
you would see the shift if you really
growth,
watch
though.
that early Love and Hip Hop phase to like, okay, as time went on, you'll see how things change. And it was because I was just so sick of people just thinking I was just this mean shit, crazy, no reason. It's like I had to do my job and I did it, and now it's like, okay, people still want me, so let's show them who I am.
Yeah.
So for a while, and even with that, like I would be real deal myself, and production would like edit things to be the way they want it to be. That's why with my lesbian relationship,
Yeah.
it was
talk
like,
about
okay,
that too.
yeah, I'm like, this is the real deal. And then next thing you know, it's like they're editing it up
storyline.
like this bitch completely innocent. And it's
Yeah.
like, damn.
We're going to hop into that relationship with Sin too, but I want to talk about another relationship before all the Love and Hip Hop stuff.
Okay.
Because you actually met your first baby daddy, Raul, who was
may
part of
he
the
rest in peace.
I know. He was part of the Terror Squad. Take me on that journey with you guys.
I met him at the Nina Sky video, Move Your Body. And I was brought in by, you know, production to be on set where he was already on set. And I remember him telling me the story. I had this black dress. Remember the era of like that draping kind of thing?
I actually still love those dresses.
Well, I had one of those dresses on set. And he said this is the story that he tells me, and it lives rent-free in my head forever. But he's like, well, as soon as they brought you in the room, I seen you and I looked down at your stomach and I was just like, damn, this gonna have my baby.
Oh my goodness.
He was like, your stomach was so sexy. He was just like, I just felt like you were gonna have my baby. And he was like, that's why I said, and it's funny because they asked him they brought in a couple of girls, like who he wanted standing next to him, and he picked me. And as soon as I, you know, got next to him, he took off his Terror Squad chain, put it on my neck, and it just draped right there on top of my stomach. And from there, it was like history. Oh, and then I remember once he put on the chain, he put his arm around me, passes me his phone, and he goes, put your number in.
Aw.
So that was
Raul
the romantic
slick.
way of getting with my first baby daddy. But that was the kind of man I was like always attracted to.
Alphas.
Like a man that's just like assertive, like boss, like not with the extra shit. Like, you know, let's get straight to the point. I'm one of those women, like, if you want to fall in love in 3 days, let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
But really fall in love, like I'm down. So anyway, he pulled that move.
Mesh emerged souls.
Yeah, like, okay, like you see me, you want me, you're for me, let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. He saw me, he knew he wanted me, and we were inseparable. After that, I felt like 2
How
days
old were
later,
you?
I was 18 when
Okay.
I met him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was young.
You were a baby, but you were, you know, of age, so
Yeah.
it's fine. So you end up having Raul's baby.
Yes.
Take me on this journey of being a video vixen and getting pregnant. Like, how do you?
I hid my first pregnancy. I hid.
How did you do that?
You know why? Because, okay, not saying I don't love my kids. I'm so obsessed with my kids.
Yeah.
But I never wanted kids.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I've never wanted kids either, and I have one right here.
I never wanted kids. I think seeing my sisters struggle to provide and all of that just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. I just saw it as like, okay, this is great for you guys, but it's not for me.
Right.
And I used to walk around with this whole mentality of like, if I was stupid enough to get pregnant, I'm gonna be smart enough to keep my baby. So therefore, I will never be stupid enough to get pregnant.
Right.
And then before you know it, me and Raul was having our time of our lives, living it up. You know, I was hanging out with him during the stages of BMF being, you know, in Miami and running the streets. DJ Khaled was still DJing at the clubs.
I actually had Tonisa Welch on the podcast, and she was the first lady of BMF.
Yeah. So like I was around during that era.
What a great era. What a
it
time
was
to
such,
be alive.
Money was everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like it showed me too the ropes of like, okay, like be about your get your money, you could live a good life. And, you know, that's kind of where I was aiming. That's where I was. So when I found out, when I was pregnant, like 6 months pregnant, I had no idea. I was 6 months living my best life, wasn't showing, no symptoms, still getting my period.
And you're already so tiny. Like
I was even more tiny before then because I didn't have my breast implants, nothing. I was like so young.
Yeah.
And yeah, I found out I was pregnant and I was actually depressed. I didn't want a baby.
Well, I mean, you were a baby having a baby.
Yeah, I didn't, and I hid, and I had to gather myself in the sense of like, okay, like this is what it is. How do I do this? I more so spent the time being pregnant with my first pregnancy, coming to terms with, okay, this is what it is, and being okay with that.
Right.
But once King was born, I was like, okay, I'm okay with this.
Oh, you fell in love with them.
I fell madly in love with them. I breastfed. I took pride in that. And because I hid my whole pregnancy too, for me, it was more so like, I got a chance to just dive into like, okay, this is what it is. You're going to have to do whatever it takes, you know, to give this person the best life possible. And I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I knew I was going to do whatever it took to do that.
Right.
And
how did you guys come up with his name?
He named him.
Oh,
he named him.
That makes it even more special.
Yeah, he named him. I was like, one day I was like, do you want to name him Raul? And we're like, you know, like, because like I said, I was still coming to terms with me being pregnant. So the whole naming thing, you know, was like, I didn't know. I didn't want that responsibility. But at the same time, I was like giving suggestions. And then one day he was like, we're going to name him King. And I was like, what? Really? He was like, yeah, I just love the idea of like a woman going up to him and like asking him his name. And he just says to her, I'm King.
Yeah.
He's like, and Raul was so into God and about God and, you know, stuff like that, you know, he would always say, you know, God is King, King is God. So I think that's kind of where his drive with that came from.
Yeah.
And I was fine with that. I was like, King, actually and then when I thought about you know, how he broke it down, like, yeah, imagine like if I was a woman walking up to a guy, he's fly and turns around and asks him his name's King, oh, I'm sold.
But back then too, that name wasn't very popular.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I think Kingston, Gwen Stefani had named her son Kingston around that time. I remember that vaguely because when she announced it, I'm like, she took our name. But he's like, no, it's King. So yeah, so he named him. And yeah, and King changed my life completely. He made me the ultimate hustler. He made me realize that even more so than I did before, feel like I had I needed to make happen for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, stealing baby formula and Pampers and all that was not the life I wanted to live, but it was what I had to do at some points. And it was just like, okay, I can't. And it's crazy because still to this day, like people will be like, where is Queen? Why does she never show him? And so on and so forth. But it's like, he was born and I did everything I could to provide for him. So when I finally got the call to kind of do Love and Hip Hop, I was living in LA at the time. And King was like 6, 7. Love and Hip Hop in New York was in New York. I was living in LA. And I made my mom retire. so that I can have the peace of mind. Obviously, me going through what I went through as a child, I was like, I'm not leaving my kid with just anybody.
Yeah.
So the next best thing was make my mom stop working and take on the responsibility of not only taking care of a kid, but my mama, so that I can have peace of mind.
Yeah.
And go out and make happen for us so that this way we can have. So I did have to sacrifice a lot of time, but it wasn't until he was like 6, 7. I was with King, thugging it,
Well, you were already doing some TV stuff because Raul was best friends with.
Yeah, he set us up to do Dash Miami, and King was like what, 3, 4. He was in a snippet of it too.
Yeah.
He was like 2, 3. He was walking around. He was so small, so tiny. But yeah, I will say he was putting me. And one thing I will say, regardless to what, and our relationship at one point was so like, it was toxic.
That was my next question.
It was toxic because it was more controlling. Like he really he saw me as being for him and only for him. And as time grew, I was like, I want more out of life. Like I love you, but I want more. And
was he
staying
a lot older?
In this?
Was he a lot older than you?
Yes.
Okay. How older? How much older?
By a couple of years.
Okay.
But I will say this, like, even though the times that he made things difficult for me, he was always a dad.
Yeah.
He loved his kids. And even in the times when he didn't have much, he still made it happen. So like with King, with Raul, I never ever had to think for 1 second to ever put him on child support or anything like that. Because he just was always like, he was just a real one when it came to the kids. He just made things difficult for me at times.
Well,
but even with that being said, he put me in position for a lot of things that I'm able to do now. Like reality TV, he was the one who kind of set that play up. Him being good friends with Scott Disick. He introduced me to Courtney, and every time they would come to Miami, we would hang out with them. So I eventually built, a rapport with her. Yeah. So when she started to cast for Dash, she, asked about me, and Raul was like, absolutely. He actually was the one who made Jesse Terrero put me in Candy Shop. Aww. And this is around the time that Fat Joe and 50 Cent had their rival, but he was like, my girl, because he knew Jesse was casting for that. And he was like, Erica will be banging for that. Like, you need to have, a Latina in there. Stop playing. And Jesse was like, you sure? Like, aren't you at war? He was like, Joe's at war. Not like, they ain't got nothing to do with my girl. So he put me in position for that.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was casted for that. Like Raul, like, even though we had our toxic times and it was real bad, girl, like real bad, like physical bad, like whatever we could do to each other, hurt each other, we were doing at one point. And it's not something I'm happy about, but it's the truth. But even still, he knew I was the mother of his child. So he didn't do anything to stop me from flourishing, to be able to be the best that I could be.
That's amazing. That's a real man.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, regardless of how he felt, like at one point he had like a real possessive kind of mentality when it came to me. Yeah. Which I look back at it now, I'm like,
kind of hot.
It's very hot. But I was young, and I also was like, oh no, let me be. I want to go. Because I also knew like there was more for me. Yeah. And he was very set in how he did things and how he was as a man. Like I used to get on him all the time because he would bring money to everybody. Like, put these business plays from Fat Joe to Khaled to, Jesse Terrell, to all these big people that now are doing so extremely well for themselves. He would set up these plays for them and would never ask for any type of like business percentage from deals he locked in. And none of them would ever look back and be like, hey, you set this up here, feed your family. So I was, as his woman, sitting around seeing this man look out for everybody, and you see the other wives, living it good, and we're here kind of like struggling and penny pinching. And after a while, it just didn't sit well for me. And I would bring it to his attention, and it would just be a bicker. And his thing was, this is what I do, this is who I am, and that was great for him. But for me, it was like, as your woman, I can't sit up here penny pinching while you're doing all of this. Everyone's eating and we're just barely making it.
Yeah. Also, as his other half, you want to bring that to attention because you want to be like, hey, baby, like you deserve this too.
It's up until he passed. I feel like that was always our conversations because he was always the power play.
Right.
And it's funny because at one point he came out with his own water and he brought it to Joe's attention, like, let's do our own water, blah, 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 blah. And it's safe to say Fat Joe downplayed all of Raul's great ideas, but over the years, who had their own water? 50 Cent came out with his own vitamin water. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all these great ideas that he would bring to Fat Joe and he would downplay it or turn his cheek. And, you know, like he was such a brilliant man with all these great ideas. He just wasn't, he was respected when it came time to protect everybody and, you know, do the street and stuff like that. And when he was bringing money to the table, but never looked at and like, you know, acknowledged for the other great things that he was, you know, trying to make happen. So I think that was just like, as much as I like wanted to stug it out and stick with him on it, I just knew like, okay, you're okay with this and this lifestyle and this living and being, you know, leveled with all of this. I can't. Like the way these other individuals are living, I deserve to live like that too. And that kind of was the reasoning for me kind of like breaking things off. But it wasn't easy because he was not letting me go for a while.
You.
But he still put me in position.
Yeah.
I owe that man so much. I like, you know, from the music videos to bringing me into reality TV, I got a taste of it. I got a chance to see how it works, what it was, and how they do things, and just seeing like how the Kardashians are able to turn anything with their name on it into bucks and stuff like that. Like getting a taste of that with him putting me in position to do that and be that, you know, set it off for me. It was everything I needed to know. It was like kind of like a little blueprint. So that man, you know, we had our toxic times and it was ugly. And there was one point I went viral after I got on Love and Hip Hop because of an altercation I had with him outside of a nightclub, which was, you know, gets brought up a lot. But people don't understand the backstory of that, but it's fine. But even with that being the case, he still did right by me because I was his kid's mother. And, you know, for that, I got to give him the ultimate respect.
How are you dealing with his death?
I don't think you could ever deal with it. I didn't think I was.
You push so much down, Erica, that's why whenever moments like this happen, it comes to you because you push so much down. You're so trying to be the tough person, you know? So it's like,
it's the heartbreak.
It's okay to hurt.
That I gotta watch my baby go through that I can't do anything about that. Because I can't ever take that away.
It was so unexpected too.
It was his best friend, my kid's best friend. And they had a relationship that was just so... I actually wish I had that type of relationship with one of my parents. I guess you could say I kind of had it with my stepfather, but to see your kid heartbroken, and as a mom, you really can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
is like the hard part. And then realizing that now I'm really a single mom. Because he was like a dad.
For him.
The other situation, I feel like, is whatever. I think I've been a single mom from the beginning.
Right.
But now I'm for real single mom.
You almost don't realize how much weight he pulled with you until he's not there anymore.
Yeah, because when I couldn't be there
because of my work schedule and things like that, he pulled rank and he showed up and he did what he had to do.
Were him and King close?
Huh?
Were him and King close?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Extremely close. And it's funny because over the years, me and him became extremely close too. He would talk to me and like, what do you see in this? Like, look how fast you left me because you wanted better. What is it with this? This is not even your type. This is not even of your level. Like, you know why I picked you? You know why I picked you? Because I saw greatness in you. You know why he picked you? Because he wants to take your greatness. And he would have these conversations with me and they would resonate. And those and our conversations, me and his conversations, will be those times where I would build that strength, and then I'll be like, okay, never again. And then, you know,
he was like your best friend
again. Yeah. But he would remind me of who I was a lot. Like, do you know who you are? Did you forget who you are? Like, look how fast you left me and you didn't look back, and look what happened. Like, what is it with this clown or whatever the wants to call him in the moment? What is it with him? Like, why? Why are you letting this situation, especially when I was going through postpartum really bad after I had Legend.
Yeah.
He would come over, bring me food, open the shades. Like, what are you doing, E? Like, did you forget who the fuck you are? He's like, snap out of it.
Yeah.
And then, it's funny because the babies loved him. They called him Uncle Raul. So we had a relationship. It was great. The only thing, he was just so soft with King. But King would get away with everything. And that would be our bicker if there was any. Like, you have to you can't let him run you. You can't let him tell you what to do and this and that. I'm like, you have to be the dad. And he's like, oh, like he just had this softness with King, that King could get away with anything, could tell him anything, whatever. But he was the best dad. And then over time, he just became one of my
confidants.
No other. We spent Thanksgiving together, at times. We did New Year's Eve together, like him, the babies, King, and Raul, and the family. And, that was it.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that you guys have to go through that. That, like, it breaks my heart to see you hurt so bad.
Yeah, it's hard to just know that King's still hurting.
Yeah.
And probably will be hurting for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
losing a parent is rough. I couldn't even imagine at that age losing a parent.
Yeah, and then, King and him had plans to, do things together, like, moving him into his dorm room for college and things like that. And
how is your relationship with King now? Because I know you.
It's kind of better. We've had our moments. I feel like because King for a little bit, he doesn't like the limelight. So, me being famous and stuff like that, like once he became vocal, like he didn't want to be on TV and social media, because any real fan of mine knows, like, me and King used to have the best snaps back in the day. And King is so smart that we used to end up on blogs, because this is the beginning phases of like social media and stuff. But Snap was big for us, and we would sit and have these conversations. And as a kid, he was so into like global warming and modern day feminism. And
sounds like this one over here.
Yeah.
They're just so smart. Like, I could never.
Yeah. So we would sit and just have these conversations on Snap, and people would just be so blown away about how smart he is and this, that, and the third. And he finally started going to school, and where kids were a little bit older and parents, are tuned into love and hip hop. And that attention just started to really get to him and affect him. And there was one time he went to the library, and a group of parents just kind of like forced him to take pictures. And that just kind of traumatized him for the rest. Like that, to this day, to get King to go out with me somewhere, I have to promise him that I'm not taking pictures.
Oh, I understand that. We deal with that in our family too.
Yeah,
so I get
he
that.
hates it.
Oh.
He doesn't like it at all. He's so super introvert. He's like not with any. So for a while it was just like, why do you have to be famous? I hate this. Like, you know, like, so
we went through that with Bailey too. It's rough on kids.
Yeah. And it's not even because he was never bullied or anything about it.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that
it's a life they didn't ask for.
Yeah. It's like, why are they in our, like, why do they want to take, like, I hate this. Like, why? So for a little bit, he dealt with that. And then also too, when I started loving hip hop, I had to fly out every Sunday from LAX, red eye, to make it Monday.
Right.
To fly back out Friday, red eye, so I can have Saturday morning to Sunday. So I only have like a day and a half with him when I started doing Love and Hip Hop. So I missed out on a lot.
You get a lot of
oh my God,
online.
Yeah.
And to me, and you know, everybody has their own situations that are going on, and you had your own trauma that you're dealing with, especially at that age. Since when did we start shaming moms for having to work?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Because I already have the guilt of like knowing I'm going to miss football. I'm going to miss parent teacher. I'm going to miss, you know, just making him lunch every day or whatever. Like that guilt will just never go away. And just the little things, like even now with the little guys, I'm like, I bring them to set with me because I'm so scared of missing something.
Yeah.
You know, I already walk with that like resentment with myself.
Guilt.
Because I'm like, I missed out on so much with him. But at the same time, King had stability. He had structure. I go through it a lot. Like I feel like, especially with the little ones, I think back like, damn, like this is what I missed with King and da-da-da. So anyway, with that being said, I had nothing when I had King.
Yeah.
Like Raul did what he could, but for myself, I had nothing.
Yeah.
Like in order to have rent be paid, in order to stop stealing what the I needed to survive, in order to provide food and all of that, I really had nothing.
Yeah.
So when I got the opportunity to do Love and Hip Hop, it was a lot. Like even for me, can you imagine like working and I remember I had to like stay with my sister for the days during the weeks that I was filming for Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Who was still living in New York, and then fly back and then literally be home, but this long to go back on that 6 damn hour flight. But it was an opportunity for me to get out there, for me to get paid, even though they wasn't paying me much at that time, but it was something.
Yeah.
And it also gave me an opportunity to give King what he needed, you know, not having
Yeah,
nothing.
you were literally working.
I was
started
working
at the bottom
to provide what he needed and just making it, and I was okay with that because I was able to pull it off. And then you got to remember too, I also had my mom that I had to take care of too.
Yes. Well, people make it sound like you just were out partying and like living a life, and they don't even realize that like the parents every day make sacrifices for their kids, you know, and you were doing what you had to do at that time to make money. Did you miss out on his life a lot? Yes. But now look at the life that you have provided.
So I will say that like I missed out on a lot, but he turned out to be such a beautiful soul. He is so like intelligent. He has accomplished so much.
Yeah.
He's 17 and in college right now.
Yeah.
As we speak. Like
That's
I can't
amazing.
even complain. Like that's why now, like before it used to bother me and I used to sit there and like explain myself. But now it's like, I feel like it's a little bit weird and freaky and kind of like, now I look at people who inquire and stress this whole, where is he? Why she's never posted? Like you are weird to be stressing about a child's whereabouts, especially a child that is doing well for himself.
Yes.
At such a young age, for him to graduate high school and already be in college at 17 and already have his career. Like he wants to do he wants to work in cybersecurity. And he's adamant on like being in that field, no matter what it takes, you know, like, and it's not industry. It's not, and he has the private life that him and his dad, even though his dad was known, his dad likes his privacy as well. So he gets that trait from his dad, and he has everything he wants and more, you know. It's just unfortunate now he doesn't have his best friend, you know. But even with that being said, he's doing the work to get through it by, now he's in college, he's, sourced out his own therapist and, things like that to kind of, start his life and being a grown, person. And he does a great job at it. And now I feel like he's accepted me being the famous one in the family.
Well, it takes them growing up a little bit too.
And now it's like, it's funny because now that he's in college, we talk more now that he's in college than we have ever. Well, when he was a kid, he used to blow me up. But then he got into like preteen, and then it was like, oh, my mom's famous. And then, but now he's in college and we talk all the time. Like we literally are on the phone for hours that I got to tell him like, King, I got to put the babies to sleep. I'll call you tomorrow. And even that is so hard because it's like your baby wants to talk to you and stay on the phone with you. And you're like, fuck, I gotta go because I have the other ones. And then the babies are obsessed with him. Sapphire is like in love with her brother, talks about him all day long. And it's funny because he doesn't like pictures, but with her, he'll sit on her, like she will turn her iPad and with her, he'll take pictures, but pictures with anybody else, like he runs from the camera. So anytime we want like an updated photo of King, we go to Sapphire's iPad. And they're there like,
I love that.
Yeah, it's come full circle, our relationship. And then any parent who has a teenager knows like teenage years, they suck. Yes. I love being a mom, but like, and I'm thinking already about it when it comes to the two that I have now. I'm like, I do not want to go through those
Girl.
Teenage years are so hard.
You're going to have two of them at the same time.
Exactly. And I got the boy and the girl, and it's going to be so interesting to see how I pull that off. But, teenage years are so hard. And then in this generation, and then the way school is made up, how, kids are forced to have to talk about subjects that kids shouldn't be having to talk about.
Kids now, some of the
sexual preferences and, Tom wants to become Sally and all of that stuff is fine, but it's like, that's not what I have in my household. So for them to have this upbringing and then put them into a school or schools in general or the outside world, because one thing I've learned is that these kids learn more from other kids than they do their teachers sometimes.
It
just
scary.
Throws things off.
Yeah.
And then they come back from school, you lied to me, or why is this? And then it's like, you're not prepared for these conversations yet because they're not at the age where you should be preparing for them.
My husband always says this quote. He says, the worst thing you can do for a child is a parent that has an unlived life.
Yeah.
Because, if you're just going to sit at home with your kid and not pursue your dreams, what is that teaching your children?
Yeah.
Now look at your baby. He's in college pursuing his dreams because he had parents that pursued their dreams.
Yeah. And then that sacrifice, even though I wasn't ever expecting to do it by myself now with the two little ones, it puts me in position now where, okay, I have made a name for myself where like the two little ones now, instead of leaving them behind, I can bring them with me on movie sets and stuff because I have a little status and people kind of respect it and understand. And now too, working moms are more respected.
Way more respected than they were back in the day.
They know you come with kids, they're going to give you a good trailer. And that's how I've been able to pull off all my movies because every single movie I have done, the little ones have been on set with me.
I see that too. I think that's so cute.
And that's something I wish I would have had then, but I was making a name for myself and setting myself up back then.
Yeah.
So now, things are different.
Yeah. So moving on from King, we're going to get into the subject that everybody wants to talk about and everybody wants to hear from you on because you haven't spoken about this at all.
I've been speaking about it just because of Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
But most recently,
most recent events.
Yeah, there was just something that was put out there for monetization and clout and, for a weird agenda of a certain individual.
Who's now a YouTuber.
Yeah, all of a sudden a YouTuber.
we were researching last night and I was just like, this is weird, but to each their own. I'm never going to knock anybody's hustle.
It's got to be a midlife crisis. At 43 years old, you wake up one day and wanting to be a YouTuber.
Girl, let me break out my glasses because I've got so many notes on this. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, you actually married Safaree. You married Safaree, who is Nicki Minaj's ex. That's pretty much what people know him for, is being Nicki Minaj's ex. You can see her whole demeanor change talking about this man. Take me on the courtship, because you said somewhere that he courted you for about 3 years.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
I didn't want him.
Right.
My intuition knew what was up.
Right.
I did not want him. I never found him attractive in that way. And it's funny because it wasn't until I actually started dating him that I even got like the real of like his relationship with Nikki. So when he started to kind of come after me, I knew he was her ex, but I didn't know the real details of it. Coming from the Terror Squad angle of my life, I always was a Remy fan and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like who doesn't sing a Nicki Minaj song? But I was never like tapped in, like, because you remember she's from Brooklyn, I'm from the Bronx, so you kind of growing up in New York, you side and more gravitate to the rapper that's from your borough,
right?
And
not everybody has to like.
Well, it's not even that. It was just I was with Raul, so Remy was my go-to. Right. You know, like that was who I knew. That's who I sang. And I do know that Nikki for years had like these bomb-ass mixtapes that even friends of mine would like dive into and know every word. So I knew of her. Right. I just was never like really super familiar with her music because of the world that I was kind of in.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't know the details of their relationship or that, you know, whatever until we kind of, but anyway,
you guys met on the set.
Wasn't, how you say that? I wasn't put onto game of the kind of individual that was. All I knew was that he just gave me corny. He gave me player. He gave me suspect, you know, like,
right. It wasn't the fur coats that threw you off?
You know what? I don't even think he had the fur coats when I kind of met him and he was kind of going at me. He had the fake ruby gold necklaces. And I was engaged to Bow Wow the first time I ever came past with this individual. So that's how far back. We were at this strip club and they were actually filming for like this reality show at the time. And I had went to be in support of my friend Saya that was a part of it. Anywho, he was dating an associate that I knew at the time. She comes in with him and she introduces me to him. And he literally was like, "You're Erica Mena? Damn, you're so beautiful in person. Wow." Why, mind you, he's with this other woman.
Just disrespectful from the gate.
So that to me was like my first impression of him. Like, you are just disrespectful. You're thirsty. You're just not that type of guy.
Yeah.
Anywho, that was my first intro to him. And from that day, for like 3 years, this man just, when I tell you, did everything in his power until finally my publicist, he hired purposely because he knew she was my publicist. And I didn't find this out until years later, but he would offer her money just to kind of, you know, get to me. So yeah, I was tracked down and he was persistent. And he did.
You had previous relationships on like Love and Hip Hop and stuff like that. Were you burned from like going through the situation with Sin, going through the situation with Rich Dollars? Was it because you didn't want to have another relationship on camera in that franchise?
Well, he wasn't even on Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, okay.
When he started kind of going at me.
Okay, gotcha.
He wasn't even a part of it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this started like when I met him, he was definitely not on it.
Okay. Was it you that brought him in on it?
Was it what?
Was it you that brought him in to
Love and Hip Hop? I think at one point he just got, you know, tight on money and decided to kind of like go after Nikki Baby.
Gotcha.
And court her so he can get on it. That's what happened. Yeah, there's a motive.
I stopped watching
everything.
I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop after you and Rich Dollars broke up.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like,
me and Rich had a good run. I will say that.
I thought you guys were so cute.
I would say this: he believed in me, but he was one of those guys that he was easily influenced. Like anybody could tell him anything.
Yeah.
So at one point, people were like telling him, like, she's just using you, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, it's like, I don't have to use you. I'm talented. Like, you're a manager. If you're smart enough,
we're
you
co-stars.
would see what the is in front of you, and you would, you know, not think relationship and think business. I still to this day tell him that all the time. I'm like, had you not believed what the trying to make you believe, whether it was production or like outside people, me and you probably could have made a killing together in the business. Because like one thing Rich at one point had was good tactics on how to, like, he helped, you know, spiral Cassie's you know, career, and he's, you know, responsible for a lot of other people, and he was even managing Olivia at one point. But he just believed whatever the people told him, and it started to put a bad taste in his mouth about me. The mother got involved, and, you know, it was just weird. It was like, you know, everyone wanted me to be this person that was using him, and it's like, I don't have to use you. I'm talented, whether you see it or not. Like, this got something going here. Like,
but I feel like you guys genuinely had love for each other. Like,
we
there was
did,
a
but at the
moment
same
there.
time, he just did a lot of shiesty storyline to hurt me, and like, you know, like
that's fucked
like
up.
even with him teaming up with Sin, it was like he despised that girl, and then all of a sudden to bring me down, they both, when me and her were on the outs, it was like they got together to kind of go at me, which whatever was a great storyline. But yeah. And then as far as Sin, what sucks about that is there was a lot of truth that came out with her that Rich kind of brought on camera, but they edited it out because she was the one that how you say that they wanted people to feel what they feel about her.
What do you think they feel about her?
Her being this innocent woman that, you know, I went after her and I took advantage of her and, you know, broke her heart. Mind you, she had a man the whole time.
Right. Wow.
And I was okay with that because it was like, this was at the time, don't judge me, but I knew she wasn't with a girl ever, but I knew I liked her.
Yeah.
So
had you been with women previous to her? Okay.
Yeah. I've been bisexual all my life.
How old were you, the first woman you got with?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say like 17 was my first girl. It was a relationship. We didn't do anything, but we just like made out all the time. And it was
it like a full on relationship? Like you guys were
young,
like girlfriends?
High school, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't ever sexual until later on in the years, but yeah, that was my first girlfriend, Evander Child's High School in the Bronx. Dominican girl.
Yeah. She's having flashbacks.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah.
So the sin situation I've always thought was a storyline. It wasn't like
it wasn't. I really, really liked her, but she had a boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, keep him. Because in my mind, I'm like, he's not going to be around long. Like, I'm your first girl. Let me show you what it's like. This way you could come over here happily, freely, without us making a mess.
Yeah.
You know, like that was kind of my take on it.
So you were going to be Mrs. Steal Your Girl.
And I pretty much was up until, you know, I don't know. It's funny because to this day, I'm like, I did everything I could for that girl to like set her up in the right way.
Right.
You know, like I made sure her contract was kind of okay. Like they did right by her. Like there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I did.
Like you felt like you looked out for her.
I was the one who like, you know, set up for us to do publications, for us to like, I even, you know, decided like, let's start some type of like t-shirt. Cause we built a fan base, you know, just overnight. And I was like, let's capitalize on this. So I used my own money and started to make t-shirts with our pictures on it. And like we would sell it every week. Love and Hip Hop was airing. And it was like, okay, like and my plan was I'm going to put the money up, use this money, and we can do like a real clothing line together. Yeah. You know, like I was already kind of like setting up our future in a way. Like a real daddy.
Well, I mean, you guys were both two beautiful women.
Yeah.
And that got together on reality TV.
Yeah.
In a time,
and I really went after her. Like I really, really genuinely liked her.
And this was in a time when people weren't having same-sex relationships on TV. Yeah. So that was something new that you guys brought. And I think that's
why, too, it resonated so loudly. Where people were,
absolutely.
at first we got backlash because people were like, you
you shouldn't be faking. And I was like, oh, if you only knew it's not fake.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I really, really liked her. It's just with her, I don't think she was like she started, it was more of an insecurity of like Erica and Sin. Like she kind of felt like, you know, she wasn't the bigger, I don't know.
Oh, so it became like a competition.
Like I think that's where it went left for her.
I hate
honestly,
that.
genuinely, I really, really do. Because it was like Erica and Sin, Erica and Sin, Erica and Sin, and at one point I remember we had an argument, and she was like, "Why is it never Sin and Erica?" And that's when it went light bulb. Oh, that's where all this is kind of coming from.
Oh,
and then you know, before you knew it, it was like she was just trying to find everything wrong with me, but.
What a crazy way to look at it, though. Instead of just being like, you know what, you're in your masculine energy. She was in her feminine energy.
I definitely was in my masculine energy.
Like, yes. Like somebody's got to be the man in the relationship. So let me lead.
Exactly. But that's how I am with all my females. I tend to be the man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. Okay.
I tend to be. So yeah, that's kind of where we went left. And then before you knew it, the producers got wind of that and they rolled with the punches of like, okay, yeah, like
the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, it worked to her benefit because mind you, I came on Love and Hip Hop as the villain. So, you know, people already had that mentality that how
do you trust people in this business when everything is a storyline?
Yeah. Okay, I came on, the narrative was I'm the bad guy. The audience like is set on that that's what they've been seeing all this time. That's what we're made to believe. So that's what it's been. And it's still to this day has been that.
Right.
That's why, you know, the YouTuber was able to run with.
Yes. So back to Safaree.
Yeah, so but that's why. Okay, right. So and it's funny because I want people to remember that because of how I came in and that whole narrative of being the bad guy and like the crazy girl and the this and that, that has been stuck to me like glue since I started.
Right. It's kind of like the Scarlet
Letter. So it doesn't
letter.
matter what real life happens, whether I'm at fault or not, people want to believe that. So when you deal with someone.
I think also though, you have always showed how strong you are that people are like, oh, Erica will get over it, you know, and that's not fair to you. That's really not fair to you, especially when you go through and the more we uncover the layers of this relationship. This is an abusive relationship that this man is creating a narrative and painting a narrative. And that's what narcissists do.
Based off of my, how you call that, reputation.
Yes.
My reality show reputation.
Once a narcissist loses control of his supply, he controls the narrative. And that's what I've been watching happen with you guys. And you and I have been talking for months about this entire situation. And you finally have just gotten to a point where you're just like, I'm not going to keep letting this man paint me as this bad human, you know, because he did an interview with Jason Lee 8 months ago. Can we bring that in?
8 months ago this year.
Yeah.
This very year, 8 months ago.
Yeah. He did this interview with
This was
Jason
before
Lee.
he decided to be a YouTuber.
Right.
Of course.
Yes.
What the?
So they brought him a cake out, and this was a divorce cake.
Fuck?
And in this divorce cake, he is talking to Erica, which I thought was so weird.
Listen, I'm only blowing this because it's on fire. I'm not celebrating being divorced because I love my children's mother and my kids still, no matter what the situation may be. But God, just keep blessing every union that I'm a part of. Friends, family, everybody. You know, this cake is starting to look like a person that I could vent to. I appreciate you for where you've taken me in life. You know, we have a connection that somehow we just can't let go of. And I really think you're an amazing person individually. We may not be good for each other right now, but at one point in life, we could be. And I love you. I care about you, and no matter what, I got your back.
Cake is vegan too.
Go ahead and pause it right there. So this was 8 months ago.
This was 8 months ago.
So let's circle back. You guys end up.
This was around the time he was shooting for the villain show that he's on. And
let's just
the whole time he was there, he was like, when I come home, I promise this time, like, Mind you, this has been a reoccurring thing.
Right. So that's what I was going to say. Let's paint this picture because this was 8 months ago. So after he courted you for 3 years, you finally gave in and decided to, you know, be with this man. You guys had pretty much like a short-lived marriage, correct?
Very short.
It was, you guys got together, what, 2019?
We got married 2019. Was together 20. We had our daughter. Pandemic. You know, we were stuck together. Yeah. And then 2022, we officially divorced. And a week after our divorce, this man calls me hysterically crying.
Right.
Claiming he wanted to hurt himself because he made the biggest mistake of his life.
And this is all public record. You guys have had a pretty, I don't want to use the word sloppy, but pretty intense.
It was sloppy.
Intensely sloppy divorce. Yeah. And, you know, it's two people that are hurt. Obviously, you guys had a very passionate thing. You guys, you know, two beautiful babies have came from this situation, you know, and it doesn't have to be like this. You know, he seems 8 months ago to be singing your praises. So can you tell us what has transpired since then?
Oh my God, a lot.
What
a
has,
lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much to tell because it's been 3 years of this, but we got divorced in 2022. A week after we got divorced, he called me hysterically crying, claiming he wanted to like hurt himself because he made the biggest mistake of his life. And I remember that day so vaguely because literally the way he was hysterically crying on the phone and, you know, pouring his heart out, I felt like, because I'd be lying if I said when I initially filed for divorce that I really wanted the divorce. I didn't. I filed for divorce with the intention of him getting his together.
And calling his bluff.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning? What did he need to get together? What was his to get together?
I won't get into detail of it too much, but I found out he was cheating on me the first time ever. And he was going to Chinese parlors.
Not the old rub and tug. Damn it.
In the dark, old women,
Damn
don't even
it.
know.
Oh, Safaree, come on.
And when I found that out, I was completely, obviously disgusted, heartbroken, going through.
Well, didn't Nicki Minaj say that he was paying for hookers with her credit cards?
Before we get into that, can I just, because we are talking on the subject of her, I owe her the biggest apology ever. I owe her an apology because, like a lot of us women tend to do when we don't know any better, especially when we're hard, deep, wrapped, warped into the love bombing phase, is the red flag that us women tend to ignore when a man sits there and talks to you.
Love bombs.
About his ex and all the things she did to him. And it's funny how life comes full circle because the same thing he did to her, he's doing to me years later. I remember him pouring his heart out to me about all the stuff she did to him, showing me videos of her reacting. And at the time, you're in a love bomb. I didn't think to ask, well, what did you do to her?
Right.
You're just showing me all this stuff that she's doing, how she's reacting, right?
Why does this man always have videos of these women reacting?
Exactly. And now, mind you, this is a video he was at one point going around. I found out later on, he was going around the industry showing to, like, around the time he was trying to bring her down when he was lying to people saying that he wrote for her, like literally saying whatever he could to like kind of ruin her career.
That's terrible.
And take her credibility for her real hard-earned work. And
what is the video of?
She was chasing him. Right. And I won't get into too detail because I don't feel like, you know.
Yeah.
Being that I'm in her shoes now, I feel like she's owed the respect to, like, I don't. But come to find out, he had broke the laptop that had her Pink Friday album on it. On purpose.
And then videoed her reaction.
And of course, she went fuck off.
Yeah.
He's recording it. So rewind, fast forward to me being with him. I'm down to the mother partaking and agreeing in these conversations. Oh my God, she's the devil, blah, blah, blah. She did all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I owe this woman an apology because I sat there and allowed him to talk about her to me. And from that came me saying things and like defending and vouching for him and speaking up on her in a way that was tacky. Because at the end of the day, I didn't know the truth, especially not the truth that I know now. And we do that. A lot of women do that. They get caught up with a man and he's so good to you that you allow him to gossip to you about his ex.
You get manipulated.
And they never tell you what they did. They just tell you what
they did
and how crazy she is and she did this and she did that.
That's called reactive.
I owe her such an apology because it's so crazy how life, it's not crazy, it's just life, but it comes full circle. Tables always turn. Everything she has ever said about him is true. Mm. Everything that she had went through with him, I'm going through it worse, you know? Like you said, she definitely aired him out for paying prostitutes with her credit card.
Yeah. I think, well, first
he
and foremost,
cheated on me going to a parlor, and how I found out is completely embarrassing.
How did you find out? But before you go into that, I just want to say, I think that is so big of you to apologize to Nikki like that. Especially
I do. And I feel like a lot of other people, I feel like anyone who ever sided with him during that time that they broke up, because he was really like, he taunted her to this not too long ago. Before he came at me for the YouTube, he taunted her by going to her concert.
Can you pull that up for us? Can you put Safaree at Nicki Minaj concert? Like, I thought this was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's weird because you're saying that you're going there because you're proud of her. So why didn't you sit in a box?
Yeah.
Calm, cool, collective, watch the show like a normal person. No, he went there with vlogging everything.
Yeah.
And then had the nerve to stand, I think, in the middle of the stairs so everybody could see he was there.
And somebody
He
videoed
went
it.
there to make a show appearance.
He went there to get a headline.
And to provoke her, knowing she's moved on. She's married. She has a family. Every chance you get to talk about her, you do.
Yeah.
It has not stopped since you guys have broken up.
Yeah.
And he does it every time for clout and attention. Him going to this concert was for one reason and one reason only. He wanted her to react in some way.
Right. We're going to pull up the clip right now so that you guys can see it. Sorry, we have an ad.
No, you're good. Like,
here it is.
You're not even in a seat.
It looks like he's in the bleachers. Where's he sitting? You could definitely tell he was not a guest at this concert.
And then you have 8 security because you know you're not supposed to be there.
Right. It's weird. It's definitely, this was weird behavior.
And this is the thing. This is what I don't understand about people. It's like, okay, so first it was her that he taunted for, I guess, subscribers and attention for his YouTube. Mm-hmm. Now that he's a newfound YouTuber.
Right.
He got the social media viral conversation that he wanted, but it wasn't enough traffic for his YouTube. So now all of a sudden he wants to speak up on why he's being a deadbeat.
So how did you find out that he was going to these rub and tugs? This is where people can understand where the your anger is coming from.
Yeah.
Because that's a heavy situation while you're pregnant and to have to go and confront the man that you love.
So people are like, oh, well, you filed for divorce while you were pregnant. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So
any other woman in their right mind would have filed for divorce.
So that's kind of how I found out. And I kind of like went the off. I remember that. I was just like, what is going on? Like, what is this? Like,
so he wasn't just doing rub and tugs. He was actually having sex sex with these people.
Clearly.
Wow.
And from what I gathered, because I did my homework, and it's funny because it's the same, a week later that he confessed this same rubber tug place was on the news in Atlanta for being shot up.
Okay, so this makes perfect sense because in that Jason Lee video interview, he talks about how Atlanta was a dark place for him.
Yeah, probably was because he was going to these parlors, and what I did my research, they were all old women.
Oh God.
And it's in the dark.
Oh.
So you don't even know what you're getting or what it looks like or anything.
Well,
it's just in the dark.
And that's fucking scary. That's like a glory hole. Literally.
So with that being said, and I'll take full accountability. I do have to take accountability because with him, my mind was not stronger than my feelings.
Mm.
And my boundaries was absolutely not stronger than my sympathy. I love this man so madly that even with all the, because he's been allowed to come back so many times.
You loved him more than you loved yourself.
I wouldn't say that, but because I see the way I love so hard that I'm not letting go that easily.
Right.
You know, and that's a flaw I have. And I love the out of me, but when I love. So
but is
it's
that
like
a flaw? Is it a flaw?
It is
that
to
you
a
love?
certain extent because I have to learn, which I have with him, when to let go a lot sooner. You know, like, because like letting go someone you love, like the way I feel it is so, it kills me. Even though I know this is not good for me, it kills me. So that's where I was at with it. And after I found out and he confessed, you know, what he confessed, I remember calling his mom and confiding in her. And that's kind of where our relationship went left, just because, does that woman make excuses?
Well, she's probably the reason why he is the way he is.
It's absolutely the reason why he is the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that because, you know, with our daughter, it was during the pandemic and he would be jealous of the way I always had to breastfeed her. You know, like the baby always has to be on you. Oh, she's still on you. And then just the way I'm so affectionate with my baby. Oh, no one ever hugged and kissed me like that when I was. So little things that he would say like that resonated with me. And that's why too, I made sure to like go up and beyond. I would cook, clean, and oh my God, the type of affection I would give him. There was nothing I wouldn't do for him. You know, like he would ask me something and there was never a time I would say no. Like, oh my God.
Right.
So anyway, where was I at?
We were talking about why you filed for divorce.
So yeah, I called the mother and like, you know, asked, you know, told her, and she made this like load of excuses for him, everything but having her son take accountability or her even, you know, coming out to maybe speak to him in person or whatever. So anyway, I decided to get counseling for us. And we started doing marriage counseling. And then before you knew it, you know, things just...
Was the counseling working at all?
It was for a little bit, but then we started like doing construction on our house. Mm-hmm. And he didn't really know much about, so things were becoming extremely hectic. Mm-hmm. And the responsibility of that, I think, you know, kind of just made him like, you know, feel extremely overwhelmed. Next thing you know, the cheating just became never ending. That's when he started cheating on me with the Toomey version, Erica Mena, that he eventually brought on the show. And it just never stopped. And he didn't care if it was on the blogs. He didn't care if it was, you know, so at that point it was just like, okay, after like the third 3 girl, I was just like, I'm going to file for divorce. So I filed for divorce. And it sucked for me because when he confessed the whole, going to the parlor thing, it grossed me out. But at the same time, the way he was just crying hysterically and like saying how sorry he was and that, something was wrong with him, I took it as, this is my husband. It's for better, for worse. In marriages, happens. I can either run from this or I can do my job, do my part as a wife and stick by my man and let's go through this in secret behind closed doors and deal with it. So that's what I did. I decided to still be with him even after that happened. But the cheating just didn't stop.
It was like just one. It's like
it was like like
one disrespect after the other.
Oh my God! And it just was never ending. And I was pregnant with Legend, and it was so bad to the point, even after our house got robbed, this man was so scared to be in the house with him and his children, his wife and his children. He got a hotel, and even later on, I found out in the divorce, he even bought another house. I had no idea, but like left me in the house that just got robbed because he was too scared to stay there, but it was good enough for me and the kids to stay there. And, just taunted me. When I tell you the cheating was just never ending and it was all public and, and I'm just eating shit, sticking by and going through this divorce. And as time went on, I was just like, okay, so I did make the right decision. I thought when I filed for divorce, he would wake up. When I filed for divorce, it got worse. He cheated on me with everybody and anybody he possibly could.
It's
sick because these women that he was dealing with knew he was married. And it just was like, no shame.
I feel like all of us women have been in relationships like this. That we all have one nightmare relationship where we can completely relate to you. And the anger and the just absolute feralness that comes with after you have just been beat down emotionally, beat down verbally, beat down sometimes physically, it unleashes an animal in you that is really hard to explain unless you've been through that. And the rage that comes from that sort of thing, because you're embarrassed. Two, it's embarrassment, humiliation. You've got these babies. You're also going through postpartum.
Oh my God, it was horrible.
This is the lowest part of your life.
It was bad. Like I was literally ovulating at 29 weeks. I was like 2 centimeters open. Oh, it got so bad. One time he went out with one of our cast members and was just gyrating with some girl, and it was all over the blogs. I woke up one day and I just lost it. I'm like, this man literally violated me and put me in jeopardy, but he doesn't stop, and I'm pregnant. And I'm like, so I saw this all over the blogs, this one particular incident. I went crazy. I literally took because he's a materialistic person. So I already knew what to do to get back at him. And it wasn't right, but at the same time, I just lost it.
It's called reactive abuse.
Yeah. So I lost it, put all his sneakers in a big garbage can, and I just put paint on it. And it was a great little release. But even that, it was just never ending. And he purposely just put me through hell forever. Like it was just nonstop. At one point I was literally, and this was all documented on Love and Hip Hop. I was literally in the hospital by myself, wired up, them keeping track of the baby because I was ovulating so early. I finally gave birth at 32 weeks, and 3 days after Legend was born, he decided to go to Jamaica with his friend's ex-girlfriend, Bounty Killer's ex-girlfriend, out of all people, to spend his birthday.
This is just so hurtful, and you're just laying in bed and I'm just having to watch this.
And at that point, and this is the stuff that mind boggles me about people. It's like, okay, you guys, how soon? Like, because people have short-term memory. It's hard to keep up. Life goes on, right?
Yeah.
But this is the same man that's been moving like a deadbeat from the time his last born was born. Legend was still on feeding tubes in the NICU. I was having to drive an hour because where I gave birth at, the hospital was an hour away and our house was another, and we had Sapphire who was just turned 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to like literally switch out days and nights all by myself. The mother didn't fly in. The sister didn't fly in. It was just friends of mine and his brother at the time, his wife at the time that was helping me. My manager came in at one point, like just, you know, people that could help me was flying in to handle Sapphire so that I can go to the hospital, pump, and just kind of be there with the baby, give him, you know, like skin to skin as much as possible. And the whole time he's in Jamaica, living his best life, gyrating his hips, like as if he didn't just have a baby who's still in the NICU, literally. So I dealt with all of that.
This man has no sense of responsibility whatsoever. And he doesn't have a heart.
And this is before the whole YouTube fabricated
we're getting
story
there.
he put together. It's like
I think it
goes way even before that. Like Legend was not even out of the hospital. And it's funny because the day he left that I last saw him, he was supposed to bring up the car seat. Because, you know, I just gave birth. You're not supposed to carry things heavy or whatever. He told me he was going to go get the car seat and never came back. Never came back. It wasn't until I saw him on his Instagram in Jamaica that I even... So yeah, it's sick. And then when I called the mama, like, I'm engorged. I have this baby here. Like, tell him come home. Like, what's going on? Like, you know what she told me? To this day, I still can't wrap my head on you being a woman, okay, who claims you did it all by yourself too. You were mistreated by his dad or whatever. How you can put this together to tell a woman that your son just married and she just gave birth to your grandson. She's literally, I was at my weakest point, so vulnerable, out of it, obviously embarrassed, hurting, not only postpartum, but heartbroken because of all the your son's putting me through. I'm calling you to ask you to please, like, do something. Get him, like, tell him to come home. You know, mind you, yeah, I did file for divorce, but still, like, these babies, they're still here. Like, yeah, we're going
to just have a heart.
She literally told me, good thing you filed for divorce. You won't have to deal with him much longer, is what she told me. Literally. And I just remember, because I know, obviously, being around them long enough, I know the Jamaican slang. I literally told her, I was like, the fact that you can tell me that while your son is living his life right now as a complete waste man, and in Jamaican culture, a waste man is like the bottom of the bottom, right?
Right.
She didn't like the message. So from then, our relationship just kind of has been whatever. But for her to even tell me something like that, it was just like, come on, woman. You have no respect for me either. So it is what it is. And with all due respect.
Yeah. And you also...
I should have really said you raised a waste man, which I probably have at some point. Because
And also, you know, there's just so much here to unpack. And
oh my God, I don't even know where there's so much.
It's crazy that,
like, how do we put this in sound bites so that my voice gets heard?
We got this.
Because I'm like, there's just so much to unpack.
There's so much pain here. And the fact that people can even look at this situation and side with this man it mind boggles me.
Yeah. And like I said, I got to take accountability because I just wasn't strong enough. This has been going on and on because I let it. I have to take accountability in that.
Absolutely.
To the point that he was allowed to do this.
But that doesn't mean that you deserved this. Because,
but at the same time, like, I took him back too many times to count.
Right.
You know,
because
like it's just not like I allowed it to be to this point. And even now it's sick. So, okay. So then, you know, that all happened. And then here we are, legend, turns 1. He's nowhere to be found. But it's funny because anytime you guys have ever seen this man really be with the kids, it's because he's in the process of trying to get his family back, which means we're kind of on decent terms.
Right. Was this about 8 months ago that you guys were still on good terms when he did this Jason Lee
particular
video?
podcast? Yeah, he had just got done filming the villain show.
Right.
And the whole time he was filming, anytime he got his phone, he was FaceTiming. He was FaceTiming me and swearing up and down. Like, when I come home, I swear this time is different. Even when he won, he was like, I won. I'm going to use this $200K and I'm going to buy you another ring and we're going to do this again and blah, 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 blah. And I love you so much, E. Like, you gave me my kids. There's nothing. I'm going to make it up to you. I'm so sorry. I swear I'm going to prove to you. Girl, I have text messages. I have videos. Just like he can, like, I could too. Like, I wish we had time for all the messages that I wish you guys could read, because this man, when I tell you, when he goes through that moment of like trying to get me back, the way he pours his heart out in text messages with his words, and then how he does his gestures, sending flowers, buying me jewelry. Like, it's just intense. And then he'll come over to my house and, won't leave. He'll act like he's coming to get the kids, but won't leave. Things like that. It's been nonstop since the time we officially got divorced. So we got divorced in 2022. And the week after we got divorced, that's when it really started. Like, he would, claim how he wanted his family back and that he was going to hurt himself. And this one particular call the week after we got divorced was so intense. I really believed him you
loved him. You wanted to believe him.
And obviously, with my experience of what he did, when I was pregnant, I knew he needed help, and even though I should have ran, I loved him so much that I was just like, this is just our story. Like, it's this way. And
toxic fairy tale.
Yeah. And like, I'm gonna get him right. Like, we're gonna get this together. But especially because the way, when our love was good, it was good. Like, Safaree is so funny. He's charming. He's a great spirit when he's great. And in that, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I was friends with him too for so long. Like, I didn't want him for so long, but then when I realized, like, because trust me, everything I could do in my power to scare this man away, I did. I remember one time I invited him to come to Cancun. I had a friend of mine's had bought me a trip for my birthday, and I was there by myself. And I last minute just decided, man, let me have him come. When I tell you, he came the next day, no hesitation. I was drunk. I was acting a fool. When I tell you, I literally treated this man like a peasant. Like, here, grab my bags. Here, I'm drunk. Carry me to the room. Like, there was nothing. Like, I just abused this man. Like, I knew he liked me so much, but in reality, I was just like, he likes me. I don't like him. I'm just not going to take it serious, and I'm just going to give him a hell. And nothing scared him away.
It was
and trust me,
endearing
I did
for you.
everything in my power to discuss him. I probably even threw up that trip because I was so wasted. He nurtured me, cared. Like, there was no getting rid of this man. So anyway, because he didn't let me or leave me alone, and I know what it is like to be with him, because when he's into you, he's very attentive. He goes all out. He's so romantic. The way he can text you and get your panties wet, the way he's just so romantic just in general. He's super into you. He makes you feel like he is going to do anything he can to level up your life. He does what he needs to do. Oh my God. He can sell a dream. And then because he's funny, he's charming, and all of these things, it's kind of like, it's once you're swarped by him. It's bad. Like, it's so bad because he has that gift. But the gift he has, and he's not using it You know what I mean?
The women that are listening to this that have been through this know exactly what you're talking
God,
about.
he's so good.
You are preaching to your crowd here.
Good. Like, so it doesn't matter.
And this is always phenomenal.
Oh my God.
It's like out of
this
this
man
world.
devours me and does everything in his power to please me.
Right.
This man will literally beg for fluids of me just because he's like, I want all of you.
Yeah.
And as weird as it is, you see it in his eyes. You're like, okay. And you give in, and then you're like, this is the weirdest ever. But this is like, that's how deep he dives into you.
It's consuming.
And before you know it, you're consumed. And because when it comes to sex, girl, he goes all the out.
Yeah.
Like all the out. To please, that man can like literally, he can turn probably a butch lesbian straight given the opportunity because he dives deep.
Yeah.
And there's nothing he won't do to satisfy you.
Yeah.
So with all of that, it didn't matter how much he did in the past. When he goes after you and when he would go after
Sinks
me,
his claws
all
in.
of that and I forget about it. And I'm remembering and I'm just indulging in the now.
It's a cycle. It's a vicious
Oh my
cycle.
God, it's a never ending cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because he knows my weaknesses. He also knows, even though he does everything in his power to like please me, cater to me, shower me, he also knows how to trigger.
Right.
And when he's bored, triggers.
Mm.
And
What are
that's
some of your
always
triggers
been
that he attacks?
the up and down. Oh my God. There's a lot that he does to like trigger me. And it's sick because he does it because he knows. So like, there's times where I'm just like, why are you doing this to me? Like, enough is enough. Like, you even X, Y, and Z. Oh, I didn't do that to you.
Oh, that'll
You
drive
know what
me
I'm
into
saying?
a blind rage.
And it's like, he'll deny it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's times, and it's crazy because
most abusers try to rewrite history.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll do things, right? And then he'll set me off. And this is really the core of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's the non-confrontational, confrontational person.
Passive
He
aggressive.
stirs up so much confrontation, but has this cool, laid back demeanor about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll set me off. He'll violate me and disrespect me. I'll go off, and then I'm feeling sorry that I went off.
Mm.
When it's like I have a right to go off, but because he doesn't, react
Mm-hmm.
and loves but indulges in the way I react,
Mm-hmm.
he won't react and go crazy, but I will. And then it's me feeling sorry. And then I end up apologizing for things that I shouldn't be apologizing for.
Mm.
And then it's like, it's okay. I know you're hot-headed. I know you're an emotional, what is this thing? I know you're very, you're uncontrolled. You
Emotionally
don't know.
unstable.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're emotionally unstable. And for
And
a while,
they get you so flustered too that like you don't even know your words.
oh
Because
my
I've been in
God.
relationships
and
like
then
that.
for a while, it's like, is it me?
I got into a relationship where I had to record what he would say to me in arguments, because whenever I would react, he would say, I didn't say that. And I finally got to a point where I was like, yes, you did. And I would hit play
Ooh.
and then that's when that was the beginning of the end, because I wouldn't let him manipulate and lie anymore.
Right.
Like, it's really sick what these people
Yeah,
do.
I wish I was smart enough for that.
I just got to a point where I was like,
just wish
motherfucker,
I
I
was
know
smart
I'm
enough
not
for that.
crazy.
Because I would be like, wait, like, you did X, Y, and Z. This is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And then he'll be like, well, you have to let it go. And at one point,
no,
he wanted
you don't
us
get to disrespect me.
He wanted me to get back with him. Like, this man would camp out at my house and in front of my kids beg for me back. That to this day, my daughter's a little confused and she kind of blames me. Like you broke up with daddy. That's why I don't have a daddy in my house. And he would literally be on his knees, like, please just take me back. Look at our kids. Look at our family. Please, I'll do whatever it takes. And then he'll go to Safaree, tell mommy not to break up with me. No. And she'll just be there like, come on, mommy, let's be, like he knows all those, like those times in my living room, how he would literally, and it's sick because even in the video that he used on YouTube, he used with his sister being the fool to film it. There's a clip where he shows my daughter hysterically crying how she doesn't want to come back home to my house. And it's sick because it's like, you know why she's crying.
So
she knows she's not going to see you for a long time because she's used to it already. Therefore, she doesn't want to leave you. Right. She's obsessed with her daddy and he does not give her an opportunity to really have time with him. So anyway, it's been back and forth of him just for 3 years of him just trying to get back with me on numerous occasions. I will start dating. He'll get wind. And next thing you know, it's him sending me videos of him playing with himself, watching our old scenarios. And then it's him pouring his heart out to me. I'm sorry. And it's like, I'm talking to someone right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I've been trying to move on with my life for a long time. But anytime he finds out that I'm like dating someone, it's him coming back, buying jewelry or, acting like he's coming to pick up the kids. And then for him and then he doesn't leave, you know what I mean? Or, and that's really what it comes down to now that, in May of this year, I had enough. I had enough. I'm the reason why we haven't been together in that way, because the person that I became, okay, there's just so much to unfold with this, but
I think you're doing a great job.
There's just so much to talk about. It's just
people need to hear your truth.
I was on a date last year. Oh, let's talk about this. The type of with that triggers me. Let's go back to the triggering part. He was using this Miami girl character for a storyline, which he confessed he only did because he wanted to prove to me that he didn't need me to be on Love and Hip Hop. So anyway, he decides to kind of fake like this Miami girl character that's on Miami, Love and Hip Hop Miami. And at that time, he was about 6 months behind purposely in paying child support. Now, mind you, I'm still on Love and Hip Hop at this point, but I have the kids. He's on Love and Hip Hop in Miami, and he's only 30 minutes away. He wasn't using his weekly parenting time, and he was months, at least at this time, he was like 6 months behind on paying child support. Anywho, I'm thugging it. I'm flying with the kids to him from Miami to Atlanta to film and kind of do what I'm contractually binded to do.
Right.
Next thing you know, it goes viral. He's buying this chick's kids Rolexes. He's literally deliberately buying another man's children Rolexes. And has this whole drawn out birthday party for these kids, right? Mind you, this man is 6 months, right, behind on child support. Hasn't seen the kids, is indulging in this whole storyline that he even admitted he was just doing so that he can prove that he didn't need me to be on Love and Hip Hop in general.
He also said that they've never even had sex, right?
Girl, that whole, I don't know who's worse, him or her, when it comes to that whole scenario. Like, she's just as desperate as he is, because
right.
I'd be damned if a man who doesn't even have real intentions for me is going to be using my kids as some I don't even know what you call it, but it's sick on her part. Yeah, like pawns. Like as a mom, you're allowing your kids' first birthday to be a staged scenario so that it could look like this man is about you when really in reality isn't attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. So it goes viral. Of course I'm going to say something. You haven't seen your kids in how much, and you're purposely not paying your child support on time to spite me, to financially, be an asshole is what you're trying to do.
Right.
So things like that, he does to trigger me.
Right. I'm just saying, I don't understand how people can't see that he's poking the bear.
And even when I was pregnant, he was dating the to me version of me, right? For Valentine's Day, he fills up this girl's small little apartment with flowers, the same thing he used to do with me. Didn't bring Pampers. Like literally when I filed for divorce, buying Pampers, buying clothes, none of this was being done. So when you know your kid's father financially can buy extravagant gifts for these random women after you just had two of his kids back to back, and he doesn't even drop off a box of Pampers, who in their right mind is not going to put that on child support? That's the reason why Safaree is on child support. Because when I filed for divorce, he never once thought for a second, let me drop off Pampers, let me see if the kids need clothes, what do the kids need in general? Never asked what these kids needed.
Right.
So I knew if it was like this already, it was going to get worse. And it did. So therefore, when it was time to finalize our divorce, I made it mandatory that child support was implemented. My first kid father wasn't on child support, but he also did what the had to do.
But which is not a bad thing. That's why child support is implemented in the court system.
Yeah, but at the same time, if this man, if we're together or not, these kids are your kids.
Right.
If he was riding for these kids the way he rides for whatever woman he's on for the moment, we would be so good. Yeah. Because regardless to what there are baby mamas out there that don't have to talk or say anything about their baby daddies. Why? Because they do what the they have to do. There are baby mamas that live a good life of not having to talk ill on their baby daddies whatsoever because these men are doing what they have to do. Not all, but a lot of them do.
I don't consider it you talking ill. You're telling the truth. So are you not allowed to speak your truth?
And that's
in
what
order
it's
to
been.
Save his reputation?
And that's what it's been. And that's why so like a crock of shit how everyone's like, oh, he's been quiet for so long. He's been quiet for so long because he cannot deny anything I have said about him. Up until him randomly now having this new YouTuber found urge where he can edit that he started and stirred up. You know what I'm saying?
And let's talk about these videos. Can we bring up these videos, Mimi, that we have of Erica climbing over the fence? That's my girl. Climbing over the fence. And then also like trying to get into his house. And then the only thing I didn't agree with in here, and I understand that this is where your rage is coming from, is the babies are seeing all of this. You know?
That one, yes.
So
let's break this down.
Yeah. What's happening in this clip right here?
Okay, so pause because I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Keep that there because I want to show you. I want to tell you this goes along with the climbing the fence. So anyway, that first initial video, I had went to his house to pick up the kids. I had just came back from a work trip. Came to pick up the kids. Prior to getting there, he was telling me how he finally had some money for me. So at one of the moments of him trying to get back with me, he came up with this idea of putting the kids in some type of schooling daycare, right? So that we could have more time together to fix things and build on us without the kids being around. I fell for it. So I did my homework and I ended up finding a Montessori school Me and him went to the Montessori school, checked it out together. The lady told us how much it cost. He agreed to take on that expense. Come time to pay this school, Safaree had the nerve to tell me, I pay child support, take it out of that. So here I am now, left with this newfound expense that I wasn't
prepared
to take on. But this is the route you want to go? You fucking cheap motherfucker, no problem. Oh, you pay for it in child support? Mind you, let me not even give the breakdown of that. But anyway, cool.
No, please do. Spare us no detail, please.
So anyway, I've been taking on this new expense of the kids going to this Montessori school on my own after he told me he would take this on. Now, he did this because this is around the time, like when it was time for him to pay up, I wasn't trying to on him. So anytime I'm not trying to on him, anything he said he was going to do, he ain't doing. Him seeing the kids is not even a question. Like, if I'm not trying to on him or ignore what he did and kind of, go with the flow and just act like we're getting back together, that's always his MO. He won't do anything extra outside of child support, and he's damn sure not picking up these kids. That's just what it's been from the jump. So anyway, I get to the house and he's telling me, I got a surprise for you. And I'm like, what is it? And he tells me he has the money for the school. I get there. I did take a nap, right? Because I live like 30, 40 minutes away. Mind you, like I said, I just landed. I'm exhausted, so I take a little nap. I get up, and next thing you know, he tells me he wants to talk. I'm like, okay, let's talk. He found out that I had a guy that I was hanging out with when I was on my work trip. So his initial was like, oh, so this is what we're doing? Like, I'm over here with the kids and I'm trying to make things better. And I'm just like, we're not.
The call is coming from inside the house,
really
Safaree.
So anyway, I'm like, Safaree,
how does it feel?
I'm like, leave me alone. So anyway, he starts to get in his feelings. And then he goes, you know what? Why don't you ask him to give you the money? I was going to give you the money.
Oh, God.
That started the argument. And then from there, him saying other nasty shit. So that initial, sadly, whatever, was...
And they just happened to be recording at this moment.
Well, he has cameras in his house.
Okay.
What are the coincidence that now he wants to with me and provoke me while I'm at his house, right?
Right.
So he starts to, say how he's not paying for it. And at that point, I'm not going to lie, I was set off because I'm carrying this expense that I did not inquire. Now, mind you, that was this year. That was in May. Mm-hmm. The first one where going down, that was in May.
Right.
Okay. I got fired from Love and Hip Hop because he started a fabricated, nasty story and was gossiping to me about another cast member. Me and that cast member got into it. I said something that, she went low, I went to hell. And for that, I lost my job. So he is the big reason why I lost my job. But anyway, this is this year.
You're also carrying years of just hurt.
Yeah,
and
but
pain.
my whole thing is, I just lost my job.
Yeah.
One of my main incomes. You owe me this money because you're the one that wanted to put them into this facility.
Right.
You literally are in your feelings every time I don't want to on you. So you refuse to give me the money that you said you would pay for these kids. So now I'm taking on an expense that I wasn't prepared for. And I just lost my job because of you. Now here I am at the house to pick up the kids. You get when I'm talking to someone or I was with someone the night before. Now you're saying you're not giving me the money you owe me.
Right.
I'm off.
Yeah.
I am ticked off. So I'm telling him, I'm like, explain to me explain to me why you're not going to give me this money. You're the reason why, da-da-da. So I want answers. He's Mr. Not confrontation. He knew telling me that he wasn't going to give me that money was going to set me off. He knew that.
And then for
him
to
it did.
act.
So what did he do? He was going to call the cops on me. So what you see there is me. First of all, I'm pissed off. You owe me that money. You owe me that money. It's like a good 10 bands that you owe me, okay? He still owes me that money to this day. But anyway, and it's even more now because it's been that long. So you tell me you're going to pay me this money. Mind you, this man has no problem buying himself jewelry. This man has no problem buying random women that he's sleeping with.
He just bought
jewelry.
Selena Powell jewelry.
Did he?
On his YouTube. I just saw, I mean, I didn't watch the video because I wasn't giving him the views, but that's the title of his. She said, let me not set you
No,
up.
I don't even care. I mean, at this point, I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
Like just a couple of months ago, he gifted the Miami girl a necklace and I only seen that because that was viral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's sick. It's like, so this particular video, like I said, he taunted me with this money, then says he's not going to pay for it. Then I'm asking him to explain to me why. He starts to, call the cops. I'm just over it, B. And yes, that was completely wrong of me. And I take accountability for that. And that's the first and only time that has ever happened in front of my kids, which is why my kids literally followed me out.
Yeah.
They're not scared of me. They've never seen me ever act like that in front of them. Ever. Ever. It's never been that way. And how he's trying to make it seem like this happened. Never. My kids are proof that they have never been around that in any kind of way.
Right.
Did I lose my Absolutely. Because enough is enough. Yeah. You're literally, you're the reason why I lost my job. And here you are owing me all this money for something you inquired about. And this was your idea to put them into the school. You said you were going to pay for it. And because I'm not on you the way and going about things the way you want it to be, now you don't want to pay what you said you were going to pay.
Right.
So it set me the off. And then him having the nerve, now you want to call the cops on me? You want to call the cops on me? And I have a video where I'm filming him myself. So what you see there is I'm not putting my hands on, I'm trying to get the phone from him so I could speak to the cops myself. Because at that point, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. But you know what's so crazy and sick about it all is a week after that happened, guess who's calling me again? Begging to be back with me. And once again, sending me videos of him playing with himself, watching videos of us that he has, how much he misses me. So a week after that happened, the sick bastard was back trying to get back with me.
What is it with him whacking off in videos?
If you've ever dealt with this man,
I don't think I would
in any kind of way. Every girl that's ever dealt with him gets those videos. And I know that because on Love and Hip Hop Miami, I seen a clip one time. The girl is outing him in front of the chick.
Oh no!
Talking about he sent me this video of him jerking himself, and I'm like,
he's just a whack-a-mole.
He loves video. He loves
himself.
He loves recording himself oiled up.
Oh. The visual.
He's oiled up.
No.
Abs out.
No.
And for days. It's his thing. So any woman,
Safaree.
and I know any woman that's ever dealt with him.
Does he have the fur coat on? That's all I want to know. And any of them.
I've never received them with fur coats, but maybe another woman has. But that's just his MO. But with me in particular, it would be his laptop open with videos of me that I've even sent him in the past, because he's one of those people loves my tits. So it's like, send me a video with your tits and your tongue out.
Imagine how many other girls' videos he has like that.
Oh, I know. First of all, he has cameras all over his house so that any woman he sleeps with now, he has on camera.
Oh, gosh.
It's just an automatic MO.
Isn't that that's a charge, isn't it?
I mean, Well, if you ever go to his house and you're busting it open, just know there's cameras. I mean, he can legally have cameras in his house.
Yeah, absolutely. But
so that's how he probably gets away with it. But I mean,
Safaree,
there's even been times.
up.
Yeah, oiled up, and
stroking
a week later, mind you, I'm on vacation. I'm in Tulum, living my best life, and I fall for it again.
Erica, what the? Okay, listen, I could blame him for some stuff, but now I'm gonna start holding you accountable, baby.
He is so good.
This man has got you fired from your jobs. He has made you look like a fool numerous times. What? And you just keep going back.
Because it's the way he pours his heart out. And it's like, even though at this point, I know he has no heart, and it's still, you know what it is too? It's like, I didn't have these kids to be by myself. I've already been down that road.
Yeah.
So I think for a while, up until May, where I got, and I'll get into that, where I actually was just like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
I still had hope that he would just get his shit together.
That he would change. You thought
that he would change.
I get that. All of us women get that.
My God. It's like we are so, like, our connection. Look what he was talking to a f***ing cake. Claiming that our connection was that, because it was that deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when a man devours you and your fluids and everything that comes with you, it's like, how can you not believe it?
Yeah.
I done seen this man do and drink and everything of me. How can I not believe him? Right? Is that TMI?
You genuinely love him.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Are you
so that video is like,
are you still in love with Safaree?
No.
Do you have love for him?
Okay. I don't have love for him anymore, and here's why. In May, after that whole thing happened, a week goes by. He's coming back. I come back from Tulum, and I indulge in him. And this is all in May now. 2 days later, I get a call from one of his friends. Well, actually a DM. And they asked me to call them. And it's actually a friend that he hangs out with to this day in Florida. And they called me with pure intentions. And I say this because this person is very close to him now. And this person is a stand-up guy. Doesn't get into the mess. But he's a good guy, you can tell, because of the way he moves, how he is with his own family, so on and so forth. And he reached out to me and said, listen, I think it's fair that you know, because I don't think it's fair what is being done. And I'm like, what's going on?
Lord.
I know he's been trying to get back with you, and he's been telling me that this time is for real. And that he really, and I've been vouching for him, like with it. Like, I think he should make things right for him. But now I'm getting nervous, and I feel like you should know before you get caught up again. And I'm like, getting nervous about what? So apparently he started bragging to this particular friend that he met this 20-year-old girl that he's very interested in because, quote unquote, she doesn't know who he is. And that because she's not in the industry, it will be easy for him to kind of tell her what he wants her to know and still be able to do what he wants to do. And Bunnie, I instantly became so disgusted. It was the reality check that I needed after all this time. And what's so sick about it is that no matter, after everything this man put me through, it was the fact that I am now being informed that this man is now going after girls that are the same age as his niece, his baby niece.
And you
are
in
a
his 40s.
43-year-old man. And now you're going after this 20-year-old girl because you know she doesn't know no better. And because what? You can now manipulate her because she's not in the industry. So what? That means you could tell her whatever it is you want to tell her. She'll believe you and she'll play her position if she's into you enough, or if you love bomb her enough, and you could still do what you have to do. So that means basically you're here trying to quote unquote every other week trying to get your family back. But you also now have this agenda to go after a girl that doesn't know no better. A 20-year-old girl. You know what that means? That means, look what he did to me, and I'm in my 30s. I can't even imagine what he's about to do to a girl that's in her 20s that doesn't know any better. Right then and there, I got sick to my stomach, and I realized that the person that I became in that very moment has to change everything moving forward. Like, I'm the change. Like, I am the one that's like, in order for this, because there's no changing him. All he's going to do is break me apart, keep setting me off, using the fact that I love him to the core to chip away at me, to make me feel like there's something wrong with me every chance he gets. And that all he cares about is his next victim. And now there's no limits, because now you're going after a girl that just started life. She has no idea. At 20 years old, she has no idea what your kind is. And I just became sick because it was like, he has a niece that he has been around for, you know, a baby niece that is the same age as this girl that now he was bragging that he's going to be pursuing. And that's when I realized, I'm like, this is first not going to get any better. Two, he does need help. And the help that he needs, I'm not sticking around. I have to help myself now to get over this and do what I have to do for these two babies. On top of that, I have a daughter. So does he. You know what it made me think about? Like, imagine some guy going after my daughter at 20 years old because she's not in the industry and she won't know any better. So this friend actually saved my life.
Shout out to the homie.
Shout outs to the homie. And he still rolls with him to this day. This is the first time. I'm sorry if I try to be selective in my words so he won't know who you are, but he put me onto game. He's like, he's going after this 20-year-old girl. And it's funny because not too long ago, I was tagged in a blog where you see him pulling this young girl that looks like she's 15. It could be the 20-year-old. I'm guessing it is, because that was in May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, it probably is her. But she looks like a child. A child. And in my mind, I'm like, not only is this like, you're perverted, you're fucking sick.
Yeah, well, I think that might
have time. Yeah, it's like
that might trigger your childhood trauma also, because
that might have been what
happened to you.
Oh my God. When I tell you, I just got instantly gross.
I can't handle when
out.
Yeah, when men are tricks, or like, and I'm not saying that he's tricking off on her, but that's my thing. Like, if I find out my man
he's tricking off on
ever
her.
tricked off on a girl, and like if they're young, and it's like that's such a weird thing.
Well, it's funny you say the trick off part, because this same friend told me how he because I was just like, this is insane. I was on the phone with him for like an hour, and I'm like, you know what's so sad is like, he runs through these women, and every time he gets a woman, he like buys them jewelry, right? Like that's his thing, right? I'm like, he's never bought his own daughter a pair of earrings.
Aww.
The diamond earrings, my daughter, and he's Mr. Jewelry Connoisseur. My son doesn't have a chain on his neck from his daddy. My daughter doesn't even have a pair of earrings in her ears from her daddy.
No.
But yet, apparently he bought that girl a pair of diamond earrings, claiming that she brings him more peace than his daughter does, which is weird.
What? That he's quoted saying that?
The friend told me this.
Oh my goodness.
Because I was like, why is it that every time he finds a new broad, he gets them like, what is the tricking on the broad or someone else's kids? Like, what is that? He's just like, I don't know. But what he said to me not too long ago that he had a pair of earrings for Sapphire, but he ended up giving it to the girl because she brings him more peace. And I'm just like, this is just, it's Twilight Zone. Like, people will never believe me. But being that this person wants to paint this narrative so it can dead be in peace, this is why I'm like, let's just talk about it.
Well, this man is really a menace to society.
Sick.
Yeah. Like, he's genuinely not a good human. Like, that's a bad spirit.
Sick.
To hurt somebody like this and his own children. Let's talk about the situation with you climbing the ladder.
Yes.
Because when you told me this story, it made complete sense to me. I was like, absolutely, I would have done the same thing.
So, okay, I'm going to tell you the story and then I want you to go to me hopping the ladder. And then I want you to come back to this if you can. Okay? So I had a night out off. He has the kids. I'm in Carbone with this football player that I was dating. Mind you, this ladder thing was done last year. Mm-hmm. The first one where I'm going crazy because of the schooling stuff, that was done this year. That was in May, early May. This right here is last year. Mm-hmm. He's on Love and Hip Hop, so-called going after another woman, right? I'm living my life. I start dating this football player, really into him at the time. He comes to town just to take me to Carbone, and I go.
As you should.
Right. Now, obviously, I know this information later on, this particular information, but he got wind. Someone at Carbone that knows him tells him I'm at Carbone.
Does he have a tracker on you?
No, but he knows a lot of people.
Okay. Because I feel like he just knows everything.
So, like,
that you're
in
doing.
Atlanta, he got wind because of someone from production. Because I brought the guy, like, it was like after set, I kind of left with the guy. So anyway, this particular time, I'm at Carbone, I'm leaving. He gets wind from someone that was there that I was there. Now I get dropped off at home. Now I just started dating this guy, so I wasn't going home with him, but you know, that's my business. I get home like maybe 1 something in the morning. I jump in the shower. I'm getting ready for bed, no kids. I get a call from him. Legend just fell off the bed and he's bleeding. Wait, what? Yeah, he fell off the bed and he's bleeding. Bleeding from where? Now, I know the kids have a bunk bed in his house, but I know he doesn't use the top bunk. So in my head, I'm like, how did he fall? I'm like trying to figure out so I'm like, where's he bleeding from? He goes, I don't know. I'll call you right back. Okay. 10 minutes go by. He doesn't call me back. So as a mother, I'm like, I start calling him. What the f going on? Is he okay? At least tell me he's okay. He doesn't pick up. I called him numerous times back to back to back. It's not picking up. So at that point, I'm like, I'll just go over there. Like, what the f? Like, I'm just going to go over there. So I drive over there. Now, mind you, he lives in a gated community. You cannot get into this community unless you're let in by the residents. They let me in. Okay? Mm-hmm. I get to the door, and as you can see, I have pajamas on. I was about to go to bed. I have my sports bra, I put some biker shorts on, you know, whatever. Like, I was literally about to call it a night. I get to the door. I'm ringing the bell. No one answers. He has a transparent kind of door. I see him walking back and forth like he's looking, right? Doesn't answer the door. So at that point, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, all the things that are going in my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker sees him at the door. Now, I know Safaree has glass. All his backyard is all glass. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the back to look through and see what the f is going on.
That gate was locked. He just so happened to be getting work done on his house at this time. This was last year.
The convenience of the ladder.
The ladder was literally there waiting for me.
It said, climb me.
Like the fact that people think I drove a ladder, I rode with a ladder. Because I'm not going to lie. The comments, I'm just like, are people this stupid? But they are.
Common sense is not
He
so
was
common.
actually getting work done on his house.
Right.
So the ladder was there. There was tools there. The ladder was there. The gate was locked. This after calling to tell me my son fell from the bed,
right,
and is bleeding, is not answering the door. Mind you, he let me into the community. So at that point, I'm just like, what the is going on?
Right.
Why is he? But I see him walking back and forth. And at that point, as much as I probably should have known this fucker was playing with me, I wasn't. I was just more concerned at what the going on. Why is he saying my kid?
Mama bear.
So the ladder was there. I used the ladder to hop the fence. I did.
That's a G move. That's a G move, right? Like I would do the same thing. You tell me
now
my
go
kid-
to the part that I told you before, the other second part. I get to the back. Can you zoom into my face? I am concerned. I am confused. I am trying to figure out what the is going on.
This is you knocking on the door, right?
This is me knocking. He's trying to, and it's funny because he's been circulating, like Joe Budden even mentioned this video on his podcast. Safaree's been sending people this video since it happened, joking about it in the sense, and mind you, everyone he has sent this video to, but prior to him doing this YouTube, has gotten a different story on why.
But I mean, it's the Nicki Minaj thing.
Exactly. One person he told I think he even said in this video that I was trying to break into his house. I think.
Yeah.
Right? He said it was trying. Mind you, if someone is breaking into your house, why wouldn't you call the cops?
Why would you let them in from your guard gated community? You know, like this.
Look at my face. Can you zoom in anymore? I am stressed. I'm concerned. I am not mad. I am not raging. I am confused and concerned, and that is clearly written all over my face. My eyebrow is literally touching my hairline. Can you believe this bastard comes to the door finally? Literally, you're crazy. You really came here? And laughing at me. Laughing at me. You're crazy.
Set me off.
You really came here? That's the stuff I was talking about, like triggering.
Yeah. That would set me off. I'd have been like, you just called me and said our son split his head open and is bleeding. Like, and didn't answer the phone. I thought he was going to the hospital.
Purposely didn't answer the phone because he knows my mind starts. First of all, my kid, he knew exactly what to say. I really now know he got wind I was at Cartbone, wanted to my night so I couldn't get none, which is probably what he was thinking, which is why he waited to call me at the time he called me, thinking I was probably laid up with the dude, and decided to tell me that. Then knew telling me that will have my mind going, which is why he didn't pick up. Then he obviously gets alerted by his gate that I'm at the gate. Oh, I got her. She's here now. Up her night. Purposely didn't let me into the gate because he wanted me to lose my shit. But I didn't lose my shit.
The gate of his house.
Yeah, they let me into the gate. They
Right.
called him to let me into the. You
Right.
cannot go into this man's residence without being let in by the guard gate.
That's
He
why I
is in
just
a
wanted to
gated
clarify.
community. You cannot go into this man's gate unless he lets you in. Okay, so now here we are. May I find out about the 20-year-old girl?
Right.
Okay. He calls me. Now, I'm not letting him know what I know. I just told him basically, enough is enough. Like, I can't do this. You're a pervert. I was kind of like telling him without telling him. I was calling him all the P words in the book. Like, clearly you're a pervert. Clearly you're this. And you got weird. You got more issues than that. You're a sex addict first and foremost. You are a pervert. You literally do nothing but manipulate and with me. You fucking toy with the fact that I love you, and you beg me to be with you every chance you get. Then you bounce around from woman to woman. You know what I mean? Like you disregard these kids when I'm not fucking on you. You purposely try to make financial burdens for me by not helping me outside of the little bit of money you do pay. Because honestly, his child support is calculated off of if he was taking his kids once a week the way he's supposed to. He's not. My childcare just to work, which is why sometimes I bring them, or a lot of times I bring my kids to set and I still have to pay, but it's not as much because I'm kind of still there.
Right.
If I have to leave, let's say to do a movie, like doing Stepmother was 2 weeks. One of the, because we break it down, 2 weeks. Can you imagine leaving your kids for 2 weeks, 2 kids, what that childcare costs? Around the clock?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. So you purposely, and then what we do for a living, I have to, even with flying with the kids, I got to pay for my flight, their flight, the food. I got to make them get a hotel that is, accommodating for kids that, you can't do no cheap shit, right. Not saying that I would, but you got to get a place to stay that's accommodating to your kids, big enough space. All of that cost.
Yeah.
All of that cost. And then on set, even with me being on set, I have to pay for someone. So anyway, for what I do for a living, what he does for a living, he knows that. It adds up. So I had this conversation with him. I'm like, you know what the you're doing? I can't do it. You're a P. You're a pervert. You're sick in the head. And I'm sure with our last conversation, he got the memo. He will never be able to on me or with me again. And in that conversation, I even brought up, I'm like, I'm so sick of the fact that you pick and choose when to be a father, and the fact that your family doesn't even try to do their part when it comes to these kids. You know what the hell this man said? How could they when you're their mother? Bunnie, that set me off right then and there, that I literally went into my phone, found his mother's number, and he talks about that in the YouTube too as well. And I sent her a message with proof of him in my home that very week. Because remember, I told you that whole incident that I went off on him because of the school stuff, and I broke in his house. Like, I just had enough. I was just like, whatever. That was in May, right? Couple of days later, the homie called me. No, sorry. That was in May. That happened. A week later, we're back to whatever, right? Because he was sending me all the messages. I got back, swarped back in, right? 2 days later, after me being swarped in, after a week of that happening, we get together. I'm swarped back in. 2 days later, the homie calls me with that bit of information about him dating a 20-year-old girl, that he's bragging on how he's so excited because she's not in the industry and she doesn't know any better. And he can kind of tell her what he needs to tell her and still do what he needs to do. That's literally his words. I could tell her what I need to tell her and still do what I need to do. Him telling me, how can his family do their part for my kids because I'm their mother? I knew right then and there, even though I always knew. It just was like a real confirmation. Right. He's playing two sides.
Absolutely.
He's kissing and trying to on me and get back with me, quote unquote, but telling his mama,
family something else.
Oh, yeah. So I text his mother, quote unquote. I figured, since I know your son is such a liar, and since I know he lies on me all the time to you and your daughter, just figure I informed you of him being up in my house last week. Isn't it ironic how he paints me out to be such a hateful monster, but yet won't leave me alone? And in that, I show video of him in my home camera.
Which you've never gone on YouTube and posted these.
This is what he discusses how I disrespected his mother and sent her inappropriate photos of him. Nobody. I sent her proof where you be at. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you lie to her and say one thing. And it's crazy because the mother is the enabler and the sister's the cheerleader.
Right.
So really, it's like what I did was I opened up the floodgates to the truth on the lies you're telling them.
Right.
So I clarified things because you're painting this to be one way with them, but yet you're really consistently, since we got divorced, every single other week you're begging, trying to get back with me. 8 months ago, you just went on and did a whole interview. Not only did you praise me as a mother, but you were literally said you wanted to eventually publicly that you see us being back together in the right time and all this shit and all of that. Now, all of a sudden, you didn't get enough excitement with your, taunting your ex at her concert. What's up next? Now you all of a sudden want to tell your truth, your truth on why you're being a baby daddy. Isn't it convenient? I just find it that now all of a sudden it's convenient for you to speak on all the truth I've been telling.
Yeah.
So you took your time to edit this 30-minute video using videos of me.
From separate occasions, too.
From separate occasions.
Yeah.
Not telling the truth behind what led to this and why this was that.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you can deadbeat in peace. And that's his agenda. Because now that he's a YouTuber and he can't fuck on me anymore, he takes that out on me by not coming around for the kids. And what happens if you're YouTubing every day? People are going to start inquiring why your kids are never with you, right?
Yeah. Can nobody like put the pieces together? Like it makes me sad. Like these blogs, like even when I was doing research for this podcast, a lot of these blogs like side with him and like, oh, it makes perfect sense. And Erica, and I'm just like,
and you know why?
People
because
not see what's happening.
This is what he's doing. He's using my reputation to now paint this picture on why he chooses to be a deadbeat.
But I think that your actions, even after he dropped these, you did it so G, dude. And like normally you would have flown off the handle and like gone to defend yourself. And this time you were just like, you know what? You
know why? Because I knew the time would come where I can actually speak on it. And I knew I would do it before the year was out. I sat with it with God and I was just like, I need to tell my truth, and I know I need to tell my truth because of who I am. And because this narrative being so false could be damaging to my future, my career. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I sat with it with God and I was just like, I'm not going to speak on anything. I did a little bit, but then I was just like, there's so much to unpack with this that doing it off of, like, it's not going to make sense.
Right.
So, and literally, like, you DM'd me and it was just, oh, God. No, for real. It was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is it.
Yeah.
Because I can sit with a credible woman that's been through it, that understands what's up.
Yeah, a lot of women have been through this.
And your podcast resonates to an audience that isn't
a male-dominated hip-hop scene.
But it's like your viewers and like the people who tune into you aren't fucking stupid. And I know that because of the you talk about.
They're so compassionate.
And the way your podcast has been able to expand and grow the way, it's obvious because the people are tuning in. Everything you speak on and how you speak, and it resonates, it's credible, it's real shit.
I'm just a place for people to come and tell their truth with no judgment, and with people. I'm so blessed to have a following that these women are going to just they're going to wrap their arms around you. Like,
and
we've all been through
about
some
like,
up shit
yeah,
like
and it's like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I would take full accountability. I'm this man has been able to trigger me. This man has been able to break me. And I take full accountability because no matter how much he's violated, disrespected me, embarrassed me, he's left me for dead from the time my son was born till now. I still took him back so many times. I engaged in sexual acts. I accepted the gifts. I believed him because I was desperate in sense of I wanted still the idea of my kids to have a 2-parent household. But this is where I want people to kind of come together and put 2 and 2 together and realize what the fuck. If I wasn't allowing this man to see his kids, why is it that he's taking me to court for everything but to see his kids? He is now suing me for defamation and a whole bunch of other fucking stupid and merit. He's taking me to court right now also because he wants to modify his child support. He literally leaked his own court papers which triggered me right before this got leaked. He leaked his papers, his lawyer papers, and he had the nerve to make to put in there that he has the kids more than me. And because he's no longer on Love and Hip Hop, he doesn't make that much money. So
well,
of course,
obviously he's a YouTuber now.
But I fell for the bait because when that went out, when he put his whole court papers out, people were coming at me like, oh, why is she making it seem like he never sees the kids if he's claiming he has them more? I literally posted the calendar of.
Yes.
So next thing you know, people are going at him like, oh, you only seen your kids 16 times. That I fell for the bait, which led him to do this. He's so calculated and his agenda is very clear. It's just people love to hate me being the bad guy, that this is where, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This kind of became as big as it was where people actually believe this.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, like I said, if I was keeping these kids from him, first of all, he has court-ordered parenting time since 2022.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get them 3 days 1 week, 4 days the next week. It's supposed to be rotating. He doesn't do it. Why? Because he claims the kids' school is too far and he doesn't want to drive 2 hours every day to get the kids. Where he picked the school for the kids to go was 30 minutes away from him, right? So picking them up and dropping them off every day would be a 2-hour drive every day. Mm-hmm. He claims he's not doing that. Then, if I'm not fucking on him on those other days that he could be picking them up, which is the weekends, it makes my life complicated, right? It's hard for me to date. It's hard for me to maneuver and work and do this without me having to pay. He also knows I lost one of my main incomes thanks to him. So therefore, money is probably not as much as it used to be. So keeping the kids on my tab all the time adds up. So he's calculating every way. If I'm not engaging in him on me, these kids don't see him. And even that, he'll get them, purposely not brush their hair, purposely dress them looking crazy, all of these things because he knows I take pride. Just like he would take pride in how he dresses, I take pride in how I dress. Therefore, what do you not take pride in when it comes to your kids?
Absolutely.
He will have my kids walking around looking like,
crazy.
Yeah. But yet he can be in tip-top shape. So it's like, he doesn't just do things to set me off. He does things out of spite all the time. Erica, all the time.
After being through all of this with him, how is your heart? How are you right now?
You know what? I'm a lot better.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, this coming out set me free. For real, for real.
I love that for you.
Because I'm like, look how far he will go. Like he hasn't gone far enough to break me and bring me down. Mm-hmm. But now you want to publicly make me be this person that you know that I'm not. Because and I know this to be a fact, he wants to make sure that I don't flourish in my career anymore.
He's not succeeding.
I'm doing movies now.
Right.
I've been blessed to now I have my dating show with Zeus that comes out the top of this year.
Let's talk about it because no matter what this man has done to you.
He did this, right, to stop all of that. Mm-hmm. And so he can YouTube and be a deadbeat in peace.
Right.
That's what this agenda is for. Mm-hmm. That's his motive. This is all that. This set me free because now I'm able to do this.
Yeah. And you have been
I feel like I've been sparing him a lot. And the truth is the truth. I am not perfect. I have taken this man back on numerous occasions. I have allowed him to provoke me where I wig the out. I have allowed him to use, my weaknesses against me because he knows when we got married, that was the one thing when he kept begging me for kids. I don't want to be a single mother. He left me for dead with 2 kids on purpose because he knows that's one of my biggest
fears.
Yes.
But
now I can tell my story for real.
Yeah.
on who he is and what I've been through.
And not carry it into 2025.
And not carry it in.
Like, see you later.
He just set me free because now, like he does with Nikki, he often tries to chime in.
Well, he's definitely going to come forward after this podcast comes out.
I mean, if he comes forward, it's because he's desperate for more clout. That's just who he is.
And he'll ride the wave, and you just know that. Don't let him trigger you.
He can't.
Okay.
I'm so like, now that especially now about the ladder, because it's been like such a and I'm able to laugh at it now because it's like, damn, he really fucking set me up for this. You stupid bitch. You allowed this clown to really like play with you like this.
Yeah.
But this just set me free because now I can tell the truth on all of this.
Karma always comes back around.
And before I close out this conversation, it's like, the proof is in the pudding. If this man if his kids were being withheld from him seeing his kids, he would be in court for that. He's not in court for any of the bud. In fact,
also taking you to court for defamation.
Then he's also, after putting this out on me, he's trying to sue me. Yeah. Oh, when I was shooting the Zeus show, he was trying to get a restraining order on me. Mind you, I was in California for like a month and a half shooting my dating show. He got wind that I was shooting the dating show and it was for real going down. This man had the audacity to try to get a restraining order on me. Why? So that in the middle of shooting, I had to stop, find a lawyer, pay a lawyer to now respond to this and defend myself with this quote unquote restraining order. So it's like, when I tell you there's so much behind the scenes I've been dealing with this man, and if you guys want to believe,
it's exhausting.
It's so exhausting. Because if people really want to believe that I don't want to break every week and that I don't have to pay for with my kids going with their dad, you got to be out your rabbit ass mind.
Yeah.
A free break, 3 days, 1 week, 4 days the next week. Bring it on. Come pick up these kids. And then he also tells on himself too. And another thing, he's like, I refuse to go to her house. Stupid. Your kids go to school every day. That's how much he has. He hasn't seen his kids.
Video of him in your house.
But exactly. He doesn't want to come to my house because he can't on me anymore.
Right.
Is the real deal.
Yeah.
He can't drink my fluids and devour me the way he is obsessively loves to anymore. But he can pick his kids up at school, but doesn't do that because he doesn't want to drive the 2 hours every day. So there you go.
Let's move on from Safaree though and talk about this dating thing, because even though Safaree has put you through all of this bullshit,
yes,
he has literally tried everything he can to just bring you down. And like, I just could never imagine a man wanting.
Oh, did I tell you how he was DMing the football player too?
No, you did not. But it doesn't surprise me. Like, what is going on with this man?
It's been, when I tell you, people like,
what was he DMing the football player?
I guess he wanted to tell him that, like, so I'm dating this guy, talking to him, but he still was kind of coming at me. This is the guy that I was at Carbone with. He found out who it was and starts DMing him, talking about he had stuff to tell him. Okay. You want to see it? It's funny.
Yes, I would love to see it. If people don't see that he's the problem, then after this podcast, if I see another blog about you being the problem here, I'm going to
and like I say, I'll
take
accountability, babe. I'm not going to say I'm innocent because I'm not.
I get it.
But
it
one
takes
thing's
two to
for
tango,
sure, it does take two to tango. And trust me, our sexual chemistry is so like bomb that it was hard for me to let go.
Well,
but at the same time,
you guys also have a trauma bond too, so that makes everything 10 times more intense.
Yes. So look, this is.
Hold on, let me get the bifocals on.
Not loud.
He said.
So this was after he had me hop the fence. He got wind. Okay, so he found out. So they just told him that I was there with a guy. But once he found out it was a football player. And this football player, when I tell you, is fine, he said,
"What up? Let me know when you see this. Trying to send you some info. Just want to make sure you're the right person."
So yeah, he basically, every time I'm ready to move on or I've moved on, like this man can't take it. So it's like, if I'm all of this, and if I'm this crazy, let's just say it like that, why haven't you been to court to get your kids away from me, for one? For two, why haven't you gone to court because I'm keeping your kids from you? Like, why?
It's just an abusive relationship.
There's just so much that I just wish people were smart enough to see.
I think,
and I will
this
say
podcast,
this, a lot of celebrity women reached out to me, like big name women that were like, listen, what you did is nothing compared to what X, Y, and Z made me do. And it's like, you'd be surprised how many men, and I'm saying it's right, but men literally purposely antagonize, provoke women. And then when they lose their shit, it's like, she's crazy, she's this, that. They never tell the whole story.
It's reactive abuse, and that's part of controlling the narrative. If he can't control you, he wants to control what people think about you. And after this podcast, if people can't see what's going on here, especially now that you're distancing yourself from him and saying, hey, you know what? No more.
Yeah.
Just let this dude crash
like,
out.
I would never let this man touch me again.
I mean, he's going to crash out on his own.
I mean, he's crashing out already.
So moving on from Safaree, though, and no matter what this man has done to you, you have literally just risen from the ashes like the phoenix that you are. You have done this your entire life. It seems like to be a theme for your life. Like, no matter what adversities life throws at you.
Yeah, I don't know how. I really have like 10 lives. I would say 9, but
you always
I have a couple of lives on me.
I'm telling you, you always come back full force.
Yeah.
And now you have a dating show coming out on Zeus. Tell me all about this.
I'm super excited about that. I feel like this show, I mean, it's definitely Zeus, so it's crazy. It has its elements. But what I love about it is that Lemmy and LJ let me create a format where I still gave them Zeus, but I wanted to tap in and show how fun and sexy and wild, being a bisexual woman could be.
Yeah.
What I love about it is I got to be myself, in the sense of like, once I'm like in my world and in my element, my favorite conversation. I love to talk about sex. I'm a Scorpio, so I love to talk about sex.
Do you know what your moon sign is?
I don't.
Oh,
Haley was asking me because she said you were going to ask me. So I was like, oh, how do I find that out? She's like,
have you
got to find out your moon sign because she's going to want to know. I'm like, okay, good to know. But yeah, I love to talk about. I just feel like, in a safe space, like we all do it.
Absolutely.
Like whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I've been an open bisexual for like years, and I love. And I haven't been lucky in it, but I know I'm deserving of it.
Yeah.
And one thing people don't know is how fun and crazy and, wild I am. Well, wild, yes. But
I think we all know you're fun and crazy and wild.
but like in a fun way where it's not love and hip hop drama.
Yeah.
Like people know me drama crazy. Now it's like fun crazy, turn up crazy. Like tap into like how fun it is to be around me when I'm in a good, healthy environment.
Yeah.
So I got 9 guys, 9 girls, all walks of life.
Wow.
And we took it there and we're all in one big house and they are competing for my love. And I'll say this, my cast, I'm completely obsessed with them.
Aww.
I had such a great time with just, the whole environment that it was crazy nonstop. The boys turned up, the girls turned up. I'm not very like into the whole like throwing down stuff because I've been there, done that growing up in New York. But I will say this, they've definitely turned me on to see them kind of like, some of them were taking it so serious where they were like thumping for me and like hardcore, like, but yeah, I just love it because it's like, like I said, I got an opportunity to really be myself. It also was very emotional because you get attached to certain people. And even though you don't see them in that way, to let them go and hurt their feelings, it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, it was a fun time. The trailer will be dropping very soon.
When does it drop? When does the actual show
January.
drop?
We're just right now going over Zeus's programming.
Yeah.
Lemmy has so much stuff in the works and stuff like that. So he wants this to be very right timing, and it's good because we literally shot this in August.
Wow.
And
right in the middle of you going through all of this
oh my
shit.
God, literally going through all of this. It was going down, but at the same time, it was a wild experience.
It was an outlet for you too.
Yes. And doing it made me realize too, like, everything my first baby daddy would tell me is like, remember who the was in my head. Because to go through what I went through, I was on Love and Hip Hop for so many years. Then what happened to me. These people used me for bait. And all of a sudden, selective outrage kicked in. And the next thing you know, they're firing me over social media. And I held that franchise down for so many years, regardless of how people feel about me. People tuned in. They wanted to know my drama. They wanted to know my life story. I was able to kind of go through my relationships. You know, I brought out, you know, me being a bisexual. Then I got married and had my fairy tale wedding. Then I got kids. Then I got left for dead with kids. Like, the world has been on a journey with me for so long. And now it's like, now I get an opportunity to not only have my own show, but to show me in an element that I'm very deserving in. And that's love. Like, I am such a lover, regardless of how crazy my love life has been. I have always been open with my love life. And there's, whether it's bad, good, ugly, whatever, it's just been this ride that my fan base has been able to go on with me. So now, you know, doing 2 Ways with Erica was just an outlet of just kind of seeing what it's like to date me and how to date me. And then the, you know, the challenges I got a chance to make up, you know, for my contestants, you know, kind of says a lot about me. I'm definitely a freaky girl. I'm definitely a freaky girl, but I'm also very fun. And I'm also, I feel deep too. I'm an empath, even though I'm hardcore and like, I'm very empathic. So it's definitely a ride. People have been saying your show is very loud. You're very loud. I'm like, yes, it's loud. I'm loud.
But when I think of Erica Mena, I think of somebody who's very loud. And that doesn't mean it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
They call chronic loud. So that's a good thing.
And
you
it's
know?
great because like everyone behind the scenes production, everyone's like, you got a hit on your hands. We're so excited for you. I just stopped by the Zeus office the other day and, you know, everyone was just like so excited for me because the edits are, you know, starting to be edited up and they're just like, this is great because people get to see who you are. A lot of them said this was the most fun they've ever had on a set, you know? So I got a chance to like bring an experience to not just my contestants, but you know, production and everybody that, you know, plays behind the scenes. It's always more than what you guys see in front of the camera.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm excited. It's very loud and it's out there and we're gonna be on a ride for, it says 12 episodes, but we have so much footage that I'm thinking they might add some, you know, extra episodes in, but I'm excited. And then we also have movies coming out. I have a movie run directed and written by Chris Stokes that comes out in theaters this year.
Let's go.
We get a trailer for that. And then my trilogy Stepmother, which is on Tubi and all my other movies that are on Tubi. I'm really proud of that. And I'm just going to continue on and like the acting stuff. This is why I'm like, this couldn't have come at a better time because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. Like I said, I've made some faults. I've taken back. I've up. I've fell for the okie doke. I've also made some bad decisions. But I'm unapologetically me at all times, even within my mistakes. And one thing's for sure is that when it comes to my career, I give it my all. And there's a lot of versions of me, which is probably why I've been able to kind of be in this so long. And I'm not afraid of growth.
And that's exactly what you've shown this entire podcast is so much growth.
Like I'm not afraid to grow, change. Last August, I decided to like not drink anymore. So Can
we talk about this? I just learned about your sobriety earlier.
I'm like, I'm over it. You know what it is? I just feel like to go where I'm really headed and where I'm supposed to end up being ultimately, I feel like I used alcohol to kind of numb a lot of things and to make and alcohol plays a part of me making the stupid, dumb decisions I've made with just kind of accepting and taking back and so on and so forth. That played a big part of me indulging and not being level-headed like I'm supposed to, you know, because emotions are high. It weakens me. My mind isn't clear. I forget what I have on the line. I'm like, even that night that I hopped the fence, I had a couple of drinks with my guy.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little tipsy. And, you know, when I got that phone call, you know, I'm sure if I was sober, him not picking up, you know, whatever, I probably would have made a different decision in going over there altogether. You know what I mean? And I think about that. And even with that last incident, you know, being set off, you know, like knowing that this person purposely says and does things to kind of provoke me. Being sober, I feel like now is going to give me a lot more strength and clarity, and I'm going to stop and think things through before anything, you know what I mean? Before any type of reaction.
Absolutely.
And so far, I feel like it's great. Like I get up at 5, I pray now, write in my journal. The kids get up at 7. So I kind of have like this routine now that's been mapped out since I decided to become completely sober. And it's been great. Like I walk around with this damn bottle. If I'm not with this bottle, it's my Stanley cup.
Yeah.
And I just feel so much better. I also feel like I am able to hear, I'm super in tune spiritually. Like when I wake up at 5 and I'm praying, I'm able to visually see what's going to happen for me. Like God, I feel like shows me things. And it's been so like liberating because like even with this, I was supposed to come not too long ago before this actual visit, and like something happened with my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Is she okay,
happened.
by the way?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't able to make it. And it was like the timing of everything and just like how, and I realized that now, like I like everything in its timing. It's like, who would have known? I would have not predicted that, you know, to come and try to ruin me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was the there was a motive behind that. Like that was done and put out to like end me once and for all.
It was a hit piece.
Yes. That was done to like end me for once and for all. And the fact that that wasn't the result, you know,
you've done nothing but level up. Even getting sober, no drug is worse than reality. I say that to everybody because I've been sober since 2017.
I heard, yes.
So to be able to be in the midst of all this chaos, all this stress, everything coming at you, and just to make that conscious spiritual decision to be like, you know what? I don't want my mind altered anymore. I want to be in this 100%. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm
now,
so proud of you.
Now
since I've done it, I'm like, I look back at all the shit I was tolerating and like the lies and, you know, now us going to court, sometimes I have to go back and send proof to my lawyer about certain things. And I'm reading how I was just like the lies, the deceitfulness, and it's just like, had I been sober, none of this would have slid that well. And I definitely would have not accepted as much as I accepted, you know, like, and then getting through postpartum, that, because when I was pregnant and even after, I wasn't drinking then, but the pain of that and feeling disregarded and thrown to the side and just not seen and taunted the way I was taunted, you know, like from the time I gave birth to Legend, even up till now, this person purposely buys all these things knowing it does nothing for these kids and everything's left on me. That's done to taunt me. Yeah. That's done to make my life complicated and more difficult. You know, now that I don't want to have any sexual relationships with them at all, it claims it's scared of me. It can't come nowhere near me because it's so scared, you know? And it's just like, wow, I'm really dealing, well, I should say, I wouldn't even say I'm dealing, but if there's any regret that I have, is the person that I chose to have more kids with. But I love my babies, but I just really,
you can't control who he's going to be. He's always going to be who he's going to be.
Yeah, but I feel like I owe my kids like a forever an apology.
But they have you. They have you. They have King, you know, like those babies they chose you to be their mom for a reason. So
yeah, but those times when my daughter is begging to get picked up by her dad and he does nothing but give her excuses and she gets off the iPad and she's hysterically crying. It's like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the stuff. And that's even more so why I have to stay sober, because I now have to, and it's funny because no matter how much time passes, and we're about to be on 7 months that he hasn't seen them, their love for him has not subsided, because how much love I pour into them and how much I allow them to love him even from a distance. When they miss him and it's real bad, I play his video on YouTube. And that's stuff I kind of have to deal with. But at the same time, it's a sacrifice I'm going to make, because in time they will see it for what it is. But in the meantime, I don't want the trauma of them missing him and not seeing him to affect their, you know, their light. So I try to do what I can to kind of fill them up with love. And no matter how much time has passed, and that's the part that's so sad about it, is he can do this, but yet doesn't tell the world that no matter how much he goes without seeing them, those kids love him even more than the last time he saw them 7 months ago.
My prayer for you guys after this podcast comes out is that I really hope Safaree listens to this with an open heart.
Oh, he's not going to listen to this.
And he's listening. Trust me, you know he's going to listen to this.
He is not.
Yes.
He might stalk my Instagram page to see, because he does do that.
Yeah.
I know that because it's just so obvious.
Well, my prayer is that he does listen to this part of the podcast with you. And
he'll probably get wind of the stuff that goes viral.
Listens with an open heart, and then just you guys can just get it together, because it does seem like there was a lot of love there and those babies were made with love. And I really pray that you guys can come to some sort of friendship, you know, don't get back together with him, girl.
I don't even want no friendship. I just want him to just step up to the plate, you know,
just be a
see
dad.
the kids when you are supposed to see them, when you have them, dress them properly, love them properly, you know.
Have you guys ever tried to have like a mediator in between you guys that can like get the kids to and from each other so you guys don't even have to interact?
We don't have to interact now, Bunnie. He could literally go to the school, pick the kids up. I know of men that drive 3 hours just to pick up their kids, spend time with them, and drive 3 hours back to drop them off, and then 3 hours to get back.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to see your kid, no time or place stops you.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just what it comes down to. And he has court-ordered time to see them. He just chooses not to, because it makes my life complicated. If I have them 7 days a week, and let's just say, because my career, I actually do things like movies, and I have a show and things like that, I have to pay childcare. And if I have them 7 days, he knows that's going to cost me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
2025, what can we look forward for you?
We got Erica Mena 2 Ways with Zeus coming.
Yes.
We have a movie called Run that will be in theaters.
But I want to hear about you personally. What does Erica want for herself personally? All your accomplishments are amazing.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see those come to fruition.
You know what? I want to continue just being this clear-minded person. I feel like I've been drinking since I was like 16.
Yeah.
I want to
I did
indulge
too.
in life, like, because I stopped in August. I'm only like 7 8 months in. I want to progress in this life of clarity, and you know, continue to indulge in, you know, bettering myself, whether it's me in the gym or taking some classes. I've been doing this cold water plunge thing.
Yeah. Cold plunge. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm obsessed with it, because it has helped me to understand how powerful my mind is. So when I first started doing it, obviously it's scary, it's freaky, like you're dying, you're hyperventilating. But once you start realizing and how you can control your mind, like I will literally now sit in 40 degrees for 3 minutes. Of course, I haven't been able to go past that, but I can make myself really believe I'm not in a cold situation.
Yeah.
And with that comes, okay, if I can do that with just that, I've already manifested what I manifested now. I want to just be able to kind of just progress in my mental, and like how I can just make everything that I want happen mentally, especially now that my mind is clear, you know? I want to challenge myself more in the physical sense. I've always been like real active in the gym and stuff like that. But now I really want to dive in where I'm like, weightlifting heavier and just make that more of a day-to-day routine.
It's so good for your mental health too.
Oh my God. I feel like just challenging myself physically with the power of my mind and how I can I just feel like it's just time. And then before I'm 40, I just feel like I see myself just being in the best shape ever. And this is all stuff that's come and been, told to me in my 5 a.m., prayers that I just really see myself in my 40s looking better than I've ever have. I also see myself being in major movies with major actresses and actors. And, there's just so much that is coming.
Sit down and make a vision board. That's what I do with my team.
I saw you guys do one not too long ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Every year we do vision boards and it's phenomenal what comes
I've been
to
like
fruition.
writing profusely lately. And a lot of the things that I've kind of like started jotting down are starting to kind of come through.
Yes.
My manager's been calling me about certain things and I'm like, no way. I'm like, I take a picture. I'm like, I wrote this down.
Yeah.
So
words are spells.
oh my God.
I'm telling you, words are spells. So you be careful what you cast.
And then this year too, more importantly, I don't ever want to speak about just certain things anymore.
You don't have to. You left it all here.
Like literally, that's why I said this has been like that set me free. And then now what I've been doing to kind of just move forward. And then me staying sober and all of this, like if there's ever been a time where I've said I'm a force, it's definitely beyond that now. Like the force that I am about to become is, I'm excited for myself. More than anything. Because I'm like, damn, I have been through some. And yes, I've loved harder than a motherfucker. But now it's time to kind of, you don't realize the power you have until someone tries to chip away at it.
Take it from you. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Erica,
that's kind of what this year has been.
Yeah.
Power, so much. Like even with Love and Hip Hop, what happened with me on Love and Hip Hop, I didn't realize I was that. I was that big until that happened. And then I was just like, wow. Not just with my words, but me as a whole,
Does anybody even watch Love and Hip Hop since you left?
It's so funny because that's literally what I was going to say. I literally get stopped nonstop. I get messages nonstop in public. The amount of people that tell me on a day-to-day, and it's literally like, and I live so far out. I get old people. I get like people from different walks of life. Yeah. I had a Oriental woman stop me and like at the airport in LA, and she was just like, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop anymore since you left. So
they need to bring you back. They'll bring you. If they wanted to bring you back, would you go back?
I left off at a pretty good coin.
Yeah.
And what's crazy? I was actually on my last year contractually with them. And had I not been fired, I would have to wait 2 years to even do Zeus.
Oh, wow.
I was actually offered Zeus around the time I got divorced, but I was contractually caught in. So Lemmy was like, I'll wait and do this with you. So I was actually supposed to, I've been offered this show years ago, but contractually I wasn't. So being that I got fired, there was no binding, and I was able to go right into what I was. So that was a blessing, even though it came from an unfortunate situation. But to answer your question, I don't think they could afford me with what I'm going to ask for, just because out of the disrespect and the disregard that they kind of, how they dealt with me. It was just disgusting. So.
Well, I think you felt like you were loyal to them and they just
for 15 years. I did everything these people told me to do in the very beginning because I didn't know no better. And that brought in all the ratings that they needed. And it took on a life of its own. New York transpired where they were able to do all these other cities.
Yeah, that was a great season.
So it's safe to say, I definitely was the guinea pig. And, I also inspired other women to be casted on this franchise to do what they do. So it's good to know that. But I left off at a pretty good penny with them. I was getting I was probably one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid
So
you deserved every penny of it.
Yeah. So for them to call back and then they better apologize to me too.
She said the apology better be as loud as the disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you're owed an apology, it's only right you get one. So.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to tell you, Erica, thank you for coming here. And
thank you for having me. I swear, Bunnie,
so
I was praying like when everything was just coming at me at once, I was like, okay. And my manager was like, okay, whatever you said right now, because I was kind of whatever I could. I did say a few things on the internet, but it wasn't getting anywhere. People they were just caught up in the visual that was like literally viral everywhere. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to put out a statement, and I put it out with TMZ that I just wanted it to stop. But really that was just to kind of bring myself to the drawing board. And I sat on it for days and just prayed because I knew I had to tell you can't lie on me like this and think I'm not going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So I just prayed for it because I knew it had to be right. And not only done right, but the timing of it had to make perfect sense. Like I wanted that wave to be rode out the way it was.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is that's what it wanted. It wanted the attraction. It wanted the views. It wanted the subscribers. And it showed its true colors when it started promoting the number of subscribers it got. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the motive, the motive it got it's there. It's just people are so used to wanting to hate me that
I pray that they
fell for the hoopla.
I pray that they see your growth in this podcast, though, because even in all the interviews that I've watched you in, you've always been so kind of like rah. And here you're just like, look, man, this is what it is. This is what happened. I'm not who that person is. Let me grow.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm a crazy, but my crazy has some substances. Like there's a reason behind the crazy.
Oh no,
you know what I'm saying?
There's
like,
a method to the madness.
Like if you want people to believe I'm just crazy for no reason, like that I'm not gonna allow because every ounce of crazy that comes from this, there's a reason.
Yeah, there's a method to the madness.
Oh my God, a huge method for imagine. And for every action, there's a reaction.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so yeah. So we're leaving this in the past. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to kind of lay it all out, because literally when I tell you I feel so liberated. It is what it is. The truth is told. And if I'm spoken about by it ever again, you guys hear it first. It's because it needs clout, which it does. I mean, look what it's done with its
ex. It puts the lotion on the skin.
The other ex, you know what I'm saying? The other ex still to this day gets bamboozled by this fool's, thirst to be talked about, you know? And she's married with kids and has accomplished so much in her career. You would think it would leave it alone, but
why don't you tell everybody where they can find you if they already aren't following you? Give them all
Erica Mena on Instagram, and then I also have a YouTube, only one Erica Mena, and then I have my TikTok, which is only one Erica Mena as well. And I'm excited for this. Thank you so much.
I love you, girl. And I can't wait to see you flourish in 2025.
Thank you for being who you are. Because literally, like every bit of success you're getting from this podcast is so deserving. I actually see this being a show one day. Like,
manifest it, baby. Manifest it for me.
The podcast. You got your, we need talk shows. We need,
that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're aiming to do.
I got chills just saying it because I so see this being like you're a talk show host.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much.
You're a talk show host, baby.
I appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Dumb Blonde. I will see you guys next week. Bye.